Okay, so I'm going to be doing a VOD review of the Nora versus Fnatic, and this was from the past tournament about 2 weeks ago or so. Now, let's start with just the basics about the team. Nora, I believe they are a Japanese team that is a part of the APAC. APAC itself is made up of 3 or 4 sub-regions, which will then all go to LAN to determine who gets the 2 LAN spots at the event. So with that, these two teams have gone against one another before. So it's actually very strange for them to be going this is the first round of a tournament. So the fact that they're going up against one another is kind of curious. So, however, it's nothing really new. But really what I mean by new is Nora and Fnatic, they've gone against each other multiple times in LAN environments. So they kind of know what to expect from each team, which is a little bit different than most other tournaments, where a European team may be going up against a North American or a Brazilian team, who each of the regions has their own meta. However, these two teams kind of know the meta of each other. Now, Norango is Japanese, Fnatic is the Australian team. Now, Fnatic overall is probably the most dominant of the APAC region. However, overall, the APAC region is somewhat weak when compared to that of all 3 other regions. And another little thing to note is that Nora, they actually lost one of their players named Waka. He retired to go become a content creator due to just mental health, as well as mental health, and I think he makes more money because of Japanese law when it comes to esports, where it's kind of hard to make money, or at least a substantial amount, because it's seen as gambling, I believe. Anyway, let's get off of that and now move into the banning from the teams. So Fnatic, they began by banning Thatcher. So that's a bit of a curious ban, in my opinion, because a lot of teams don't rely on Thatcher in order to get rid of bandit batteries or mute jammers on this map. Instead, they'll have other ways, but my best guess is that Fnatic is going to want to hard hold the walls. So they're going to put like a Jaeger ADS down, and then they're going to put bandit batteries or mute jammers on the wall, or a Cade device, which will then allow them to play a little bit. They'll be able to defend the wall a little bit more and a little bit safer than what they originally could, because you can't just throw a Thatcher and then put a thermite charge down. So, because especially on the armory, the second floor upstairs, it's possible for teams to throw a Thatcher on the wall, bounce a grenade off the door frame or the wall, which will then land roughly in the middle of the wall where the bandit would be bandit tricking, which would kill the bandit, let the wall get open, and it's easy for a kill. However, if you ban the Thatcher, you can no longer do that, because you're going to have to get rid of the ADS some other way. Maybe a Twitch drone, well, really, the Twitch drone is the only other way. Or you're going to have to burn it with a flashbang, but that will then give that will give the cue, okay, I have no more ADSs protecting me, I have to get out because I'm going to get naded. So I think that's a little bit of why Thatcher was banned here. Now, Nomad. So the Nomad one is also a little curious for me. So the purpose of Nomad is to hold the flank. Well, it's to hold a flank, but she really is a kind of a bullshit operator where she really doesn't have any counterplay. I mean, she has the noise now, but really it doesn't change much. So she's annoying to go against, especially if you want to roam. However, I think it's a relatively bad pick a bad ban, because Nomad, a lot of at the highest level of Siege, teams aren't relying on a Nomad to tell them where people are. They're going to have someone on a flank drone or holding the flank. So why exactly Nomad was chosen to be banned, I don't know, because someone's already going to be doing her job, but they're just going to be holding an angle rather than just putting a Nomad charge up. So either way, the flank's being watched. So the Nomad, I think, is a strange ban. Then Echo. So most teams, well, not most teams, but a lot of teams don't like going up against an Echo. I know Fnatic doesn't, as it's shown on the the clubhouse of Empire versus Fnatic. And I mean, they banned Echo, even though Echo would have been a great pick for them, at least in my opinion, that he would have been. But really a lot of teams don't like going against Echo. They like being able to plant at whatever time they want. They like that they don't have to look for invisible drones on the ceiling, and they also they don't like the information that Echo can give. If you go into a room and you aren't specifically looking for an Echo drone, a lot of the time you will not find it. And then also, what else? There was something else. Oh yeah, so a lot of the time, if an enemy team runs Echo, you are almost required to run IQ, and that's an operator pick that you may want for something else that you have a specific purpose for. So it kind of forces you to play a little bit less flexible. So by banning the Echo, you don't have to run IQ. Now, if they start running Valkyrie and Legion, then sure, maybe IQ would be a good pick. But Echo's banned because he kind of dictates a lot of things. So, and the last ban from Fnatic was Mira. And a lot of teams don't like going against Mira on border because she is very, very strong. Really overall, she's a very strong operator. But on border, she completely changes the site. On Office, if you can put one on the double wall in Office, and then you can put one on the wall of Armory, and that gives you a huge amount of intelligence and a large ability to actually contest. So banning her is basically, it requires the defense to play without a little bit less aggressively because they no longer have the information to go off of. So that's kind of the thought process with the bans. At least that's my thought process with them.
And Nora.
I totally agree with what you're saying there about the Abyss, and I think a lot of it comes down to matches which stand there for Nora. Weird.
A podcast side of things, we have this persistent top-down view.
All right, so it appears that Fnatic is going on to defense first, while Fnatic on defense, Norengo is on offense. So it looks like Fnatic is setting up for an office hold, where they will put 3 reinforcements here, 2 there, which really it's these 3 which are the big ones because they require either a Thermite or a Hibana in order to actually get them open, which is extra utility. So it's very important because if you're attacking this, you do not want to have to be walking through this hallway here, and you also don't want to have to attack if you're going through this window, if that's the plan, it's probably not going to work. So really that's something you just don't want to do. Then they have these 2 walls reinforced, nothing special there. And then I believe these 2 walls are also reinforced. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm looking for reinforcement number 10. I will see where it goes, and I'll go over the operator selection.
Exactly what goes on. It gives you a really good view of it, as well as this too.
Alright, so let's go over operator selection now. So, not sure why they don't have the team names up here, but probably just some technical errors. So, Nora Rango is on attack, and Fnatic is on defense. So, Nora Rango, their breacher they are electing to bring is the Thermite, and only the Thermite. Which is a little curious because a lot of teams like running double breacher on this map because it gives them a large amount of flexibility when it comes to opening things up. They don't have to say, well, we have to get this wall so we can only open up one other wall, but we need to open 3 walls, but we can only open 2. So that's kind of the purpose of having the 2 hard breachers where you can open up so much that it gives your team a large amount of power. However, one thing to note is that you don't always need to open up everything. If you only have to open up 1 wall, then Thermite's fine. Then they are also bringing a Zofia. Her purpose is just utility. Really it's all around generic utility, I want to say. She has the ability to really she can destroy soft walls. She can play vertically with her breaching charges and her gadget. She can stun people. She can stun people to see where they are. She can burn Jaeger ADSs. She has a good gun. Her kit's good. So overall, she's just a good operator all around. Now, she's not really special in any way, but overall, she's a good operator. Then Maverick's being brought, which I overall disagree with. The reasoning is that Maverick if there's a Cade on the enemy team, Maverick's going to be basically useless, except for hatches. Because if a Maverick is thrown, not Maverick, if a Cade is thrown on a wall high enough, Maverick cannot get it. And if Maverick cannot get it, then why did you bring him instead of, say a Twitch? Because Twitch can just send her drone in, zap it, bam, you're good to go. But with the Maverick pick, I understand that it's to also get walls in case they are, well, not walls, but to get hatches in case they are reinforced and there's a Cade on them. However, if you try and Maverick out the bottom of a wall to get a bandit or a mute, and then you try to thermite it, your feet are going to get shot. And if your feet are getting shot, you can't put your thermite charge down. If you can't put your thermite charge down, wall will not get open. If the wall doesn't get open, then your breaches are, then you're going to have a very hard time taking anything. Then they're bringing up, so really, I disagree with the Maverick. I kind of understand why he's brought, but overall, I think there are better choices. Next, they have the Buck. This is border. Like 80% of the map is destructible. He is incredibly powerful here. He was made for this map, even though he came out a season before. But really, he can apply so much vertical pressure on this map, it is ridiculous. He can stop any bandit tricking. He can stop people from playing in really any position on this map. And he has to expose himself to do that, but he's basically a high risk, high reward, or even medium risk, high reward because of his gadget. And then Capital is being brought. Capital overall just brings a large amount of utility. He gets 2 firebolts. He gets the two firebolts, 2 smokes, which, I mean, if you use one of those firebolts behind half wall or the bunker area, half wall, whatever you want to call it, you're going to burn anyone out of there. You then can stop all rotates going on, so you can get a plant down, you can get your smokes out, and there's no way to counter any of that stuff, except by line of sight. Then he also can bring either flashbangs or a claim. I believe either flashbangs or a claymore. So he can put that down to have a flank watch, or he can go and burn the Jaeger ADSs. So overall, he brings a large amount of utility. Now, onto the Fnatic side of things. Maestro's being brought. So Fnatic likes Maestro. They don't really have a player for smoke or, well, I say they don't really have a player for smoke. I think nobody on Fnatic is really comfortable with him, just based on what I saw in the clubhouse game against Empire. However, that could just be kind of a bit of tilt going on, but overall, that's just my thoughts of it. So, but you still need some way of gaining in intel, while also being able to contest the plant without just giving up your utility, because the Maestro Cam will require something to be used to destroy it. Now, on the side of Nora, they have the Zofia, the Maverick, and the Buck, all of who can destroy that. So, Fnatic should know that, and they should be kind of wary about it. They should test how the Maestro does this round, and if his cameras just get destroyed instantly, they should switch off to someone else. Then Magnet's on Valkyrie. Magnet plays a lot of Valkyrie. Fnatic just likes having Valkyrie a lot because it lets them play a bit more aggressively when it comes to doing runouts and things like that. Fnatic kind of plays to what they call I believe it's Aussie Siege, where it's kind of a little bit more random aggression. And when I mean random, I do mean random, and random plays where we're on, say, Clubhouse, they may have 5 people off site, which, I mean, that sounds ridiculous, but they did that. So they'll just do things like that, but the Valkyrie can then tell you, okay, is somebody here? Is somebody not here? Are they pushing here, not here? Can I flank this way? Am I going to die if I run out this way? Is there a claymore here? What about here? Based on their drones, where are they trying to push from? Things like that. Then Rizraz is on the mute. That it helps there. If you can protect a large amount of walls and just waste utility and just waste time, because there's no Thatcher, so mute is a great pick now, because people are going to have to Noravengo is going to have to actually search for these mute jammers. So he can be a real pain in the ass to Noravengo right now. And there's just so many walls that can be electrified and muted now that it will really give it'll help Fnatic a lot because the Mavericks gonna have to. Mavericks the only way to get rid of them, really. I mean, sure, you can have Buck playing vertically. However, Buck isn't going to be able to spend all day under the map saying, okay, I gotta go and get a total of 4 mute jammers, 4 bandit batteries, and then also contest everybody above. So that's the reasoning for the mute. Then Virtue's on Jaeger. Virtue, in my opinion, is the best player on Fnatic. And so they basically just said, yeah, you're our best player. Here, have a fragging operator and go nuts. And they need the Jaeger ADSs to stop the grenades and flashbangs and yings and things like that. But, so you do need Jaeger, but that's the reason why Virtue is on Jaeger. Then Lusty's on Bandits. It's a Bandit. It's Border. I mean, he brings a Nitro Cell. And, yeah, he brings a Nitro Cell. He can deny the Thermite charge. He has a good gun. And one thing I like is that there are 3 Nitro Cells on the side of Fnatic. And if you can get 1 or even 2 at best of those Nitro Cells getting kills, that's 2 kills you don't have to use your gun for. 2 kills you don't have to expose yourself for. So I like that. Now how they actually play it, we'll have to see. Now it's like Rizraz is focusing on stopping drones from coming in, which makes sense. And the rotate hole here, I'm a little questionable about because I'm not sure how exactly Fnatic is going to hold it because that rotate hole doesn't really make a lot of sense in my opinion because of kind of just how the whole setup is going. If somebody walks up the stairs from Nora, they can go and use that rotate hole to kill on one side of the bunker area. If somebody walks down the hallway, they can also use the rotate hole to kill anyone inside a bunker. And a lot of times bunker is the only area inside of the entirety of CCTV that you can actually hold. You can actually hold effectively. Because you can't hold this area. You can't hold this area. You cannot hold inside of this hallway because of these stairs over here. You can't hold here because you can open up this wall right here and hold a sight line down it. So you can't hold basically any of this area. You also can't hold really anywhere from here to roughly, I want to say roughly here or so, because of the window located right here. Then if they open up this wall here, that gives up, you really can't hold much there because you can really get shot pretty easily both from the doorway here as well as from this wall. So really the only safe place is this bunker area. That's why a lot of teams will invest, say, a shield right here facing the doorway, because that can waste a lot of time if you get it set up with a pixel peek. So it's questionable as to why they're kind of exposing the one safe area they have. Now, I don't know exactly how they're going to hold it, but we'll see.
To be upstairs in the armory and archives bomb sites, pretty commonplace. There are teams that will roll the die and go downstairs to workshop and ventilations, though it is very, very uncommon, I would say, and often ill-advised against teams that might be prepared for it.
Right, so it looks like Nora right now, based on the positionings of the Maverick as well as Papilia on the Capitale, is they want to do an office push. And because it really isn't that much of a reason to spawn east other than to do an office push.
What we've got here is, I think, a decent
at least for this side.
On the side of Nora. They have brought 2 hard destructors, one in the form of that Maverick. Of course, you're going to need Maverick. Also,
although Maverick is technically a hard destructor, he really can't open walls and is there more just to get rid of the bandits and mutes.
Thatcher is not there for many of the different.
That is a question. I don't get that claim, I really don't. Because you're going to, in the amount of time it takes someone to run out of this window and run over to this corner, they will be spotted and you will be able to react to it. Then they're gonna see the Claymore lines, so they're not gonna be able to, so the Claymore's not there to get a kill. It's not gonna be able to do that. Then, I mean, the main runouts here is from the door, and then you swing around aiming here, at which point if there's someone there, great, shoot them, and if not, oh well, great, get back to safety. So no one really does this run out, but then again, maybe Fnatic loves the random aggression, so I don't know.
Attacks that you're going to execute here on border, especially towards Armory. Ramu being very cautious on the Armory wall, but it looks like it's going to be actually an...
One thing is, if you want to be doing an office push, you need control of the east stairs, because this entire east balcony can get shot from the east stairs very easily, and they can just play these stairs and it will make your life hell.
Here from Nora. Seems like they want to clear out CCTV, establish that.
So it looks like that's what Nora's going for.
Hitting from offices. It's a pretty smart strategy overall, and it might catch one free kill early on. Yes, indeed it will. There's the first kill here.
All right, so this was kind of bad. This was bad from Lusty. From what I've seen over the 2 games on Clubhouse and here, Lusty doesn't seem like a very aware bandit, because he gets caught out a lot. And I understand that Maverick, maybe with the sound glitched, maybe he just didn't hear in the LAN environment due to how loud it is, but his only threat right now is that wall. And so I'm not understanding exactly why he's not looking at it, because he knows that Nora's bringing a Maverick, so he knows that with the Maverick he's going to have to watch out for that. So why he's not looking for that, I don't know.
For Mariu, beautiful game sense and teamwork. Somebody drone Mariu to get that kill. Gotta applaud that.
Lusty had only put down 2 of his shock wires as well, looking to actively bandit trick that Archives wall, and we...
One thing I know is if you're Mavericking, I'm not sure if Mariu plays Maverick a lot, but he's exposing himself right now. His shoulder is exposed to a lot of different angles. You can see him if you look this way, and this way. So, because, I mean, you basically have a center of your body showing. If you want to be Mavericking safely, you need to basically be, you go almost at a 45-ish degree angle to the wall, and as you Maverick it, you scoot backwards. And that will expose yourself, well, it'll expose yourself a little bit in case somebody just runs up to the hole. However, normally nobody is stupid enough to do that. And even if they do, you're only going to be exposed for a little bit. It is nowhere as bad as right now.
See some teams take a kind of a bit of a preferential look at which side they want to go for. Now, keeping hold of anything inside of office is incredibly important. That's a bit of a missed C4 from Rizraz.
So I'm not understanding the C4 right there. I'm just saying you're probably not gonna get that through the wall. Through the Maverick hole, I don't think it was gonna fit. So overall, I don't understand why he used it, why he threw that, because it really was just a wasted C4. He should have looked at the wall over here, said, okay, there's a Maverick hole here, there's a Maverick hole here. I'm not going to be able to push it to get the kill, so I'm just going to back off. Because there's no purpose in throwing your life away when you're in a 5 versus 4 and you're in the man disadvantage. But then the next questionable decision, which overall Fnatic has a good number of, is the positioning of Rizraz. I don't understand why he's playing here using a soft wall for cover, even though the thermite just opened up the wall. All that needs to happen right now is he gets droned out, where there's a drone right here, you see it right here, and if he tries to, he can't use this for cover because it's soft, he can get shot. If he tries to run over here, someone can go to the window and shoot him, as well as from this wall he can get shot. And if he tries now to run to get to cover, somebody can catch him out guard from the wall. So I'm not sure why Rizraz is still contesting this wall. There's no real reason for him to, and it's kind of the overconfidence which cost them in the Clubhouse game against Empire. So I'm
wall to open up too. Rizraz could
This is kind of the random aggression I'm talking about when it comes to Fnatic. So he just gets droned. Yeah, they know he's here. And now the team, here's the window player. And Rizraz is now caught off guard and gets killed. And now it's a 5 versus 3 for Fnatic. Fnatic, in my opinion, suffers from being the best team in Australia. Because they're so used to people being worse than them that when they go up against teams equal or better, they try and do the same things. But when the people who are better at winning gunfights are on the enemy team, and you say, yeah, I'm going to win this gunfight, I just got to peek, you're going to die. I mean, they got 7-0 on Clubhouse for a reason.
A second kill. Easy work for Nora so far to take complete control of offices and march on in towards Archives now.
Yeah, this hold by offices has worked against Fnatic so strongly, and Nora's just going to waltz on in now that they know they have full control. This nade could go terribly wrong.
Alright, so I don't understand that nade, because you see Maverick is over here to the left. Maverick can Maverick this. Just jump on the desk, Maverick it, bam, you're good. However, Yoshinga decides that he wants to use a grenade to destroy it. While, one, you're going to have to time that perfectly, because if you don't, you're going to kill your hard breacher. You do not want to even remotely put this guy in a situation where he can die because you accidentally released a third of a second or a quarter of a second too late. I mean, it's just, this was an unnecessary grenade, and that is just an oversight. That is Yoshingo. That's just overconfidence, and is something that should never happen. Like, even if you think 95% of the time you can hit that nade, what about the 5% you kill your thermite, then have to walk in through a door and fight the maestro on a pixel peak, and you get gunned down? So why not just, you have 1:09 left, why not spend these 10 seconds saying, hey Maverick, can you come over here? Thank you. Jump on the table, aim, taken out. But instead, he throws a grenade and risks the life of his teammate. That was just not a good play. Now, one, I know Fnatic loves doing random stuff. I mean, if there's ever a time when a team shouldn't peek and shouldn't rotate, Fnatic is gonna find a way to do it. And it costs them games at times, but they're gonna do it. So why Papilia gave up the angle of watching there, I'm not sure. Because you have 5 people alive, at which point you just need to play methodically and play safe. Put one person on the east stairs, his job is to just watch the hallway. Put one person on that window, and then you have 3 others to start taking the B bomb site. So why exactly that's not happening, I don't know.
Great play there from...
But now, because of that, Yoshinga gets killed, and then as the thermite's going down, a pre-placed nitro cell detonates and kills the thermite. Now, in all honesty, that was actually good. That was probably... Really, this entire setup from Fnatic, when it comes to the reinforcements, they know what Nora is going to do. And one thing I don't like about Nora right now is, if you're a team and you want to be known as one of the best teams in the world, you have to be capable of making early game, mid game, and late game calls where you can say, okay, we see they're set up for an office push. Let's go to a security push, armory push instead. Because if they do that, this nitro cell is useless. A total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the 3 inside here. 8 reinforcements. Is that the 8? Yeah, 8 reinforcements have now become useless. And you can probably do this much safer.
First kill for his team, and he gets a second.
Then Virtue just peeks, gets a kill. Then I disagree with the peek he just did at the very end right there. He peeked saying, yeah, give me this fight, I can take it. And he could have gone against a good team that would have been holding an angle on that door. He would have been gunned down. However, well, I say a good team. Instead, I mean a top team. Because in my opinion, neither Nora Rango nor Fnatic are top teams. They are kind of they're kind of B-class teams that they can put up a fight, but a lot of the time they're not going to win with the way they are. So against a team which would have been holding an angle on that door instead of just pushing by themselves, where let me see if I can.
Terribly wrong, but it won't. But at the same time, not get the.
So why someone's not holding an angle up here? I don't know. That's just an oversight from Norango. Then Maverick comes peeking around, goes down, and I'm not. Why exactly he's right there, I don't know. Why Virtue can peek up above the wall, gun someone, drop down, peek the doorway, gun someone, peek out of the doorway, and get back to safety before even being contested. And he should not be able to do this. He could honestly have killed 3 people right there if I think that Capital was standing up. And this just went from a 5 versus 3 into a 2 versus 3 because Nora Rango basically said, yeah, we'll just put one person on. I don't even think they put a person on the door. I think they just said, yeah, we don't have to worry about them. They're not going to do that. Well, they did do that. And another thing is, if they're doing an office push and they're trying to take the B bomb site, why is nobody playing this window? If somebody plays this window, nobody can jump up there. If nobody can jump up there, if nobody can jump up there, well, now you didn't lose Yoshingo. You can then have extra bodies you can put 2 bodies on Virtue, and I assure you, no matter how good you are, if you peek and there are 2 people aiming at you, you are dead. So they lose 1. Well, now it's a 3 versus 2 in the favor of Nora Rango. And let's say Thermite's dead. So let's just say Maverick is dead and Thermite's dead. Well, if one person is on the window, one person can jump out of office, run all the way over to this door here, run to the default plant spot where you, in all honesty, you're pretty safe there. And he can fight that while another person comes to this doorway, holds an angle because Virtue's dead at this point. So Virtue's dead. Bomb goes down. Whoever's holding inside of office just goes to hold office still. Window player backs away a little bit, plays a bit more passive. And this person is just laying down, holding an angle on the door. But instead, the choice is to basically just peek one at a time on Virtue, let him jump up places, not expose him to the pressure that he needs to be exposed to for this site, because Virtue's just running around having a field day right now. He can do whatever he wants to in this site. If you're attacking a site, you don't want that. So I'm questioning as to why exactly. I'm really just questioning overall the entirety of the push and to kind of the oversights of it. So now, minute left, 5 versus 3 turns into a 2 versus 3.
Now Fnatic have brought themselves into the lead.
It's just a bit of sloppiness from Nora Rango. I don't know if they were a bit too preoccupied trying to figure out exactly what they wanted to do, but that Evil Eye being up will provide so much information for the rest of Fnatic, who, as you said, took that lead, but Robbie's going to go for broke. It'll be last one left.
So, and then the thought process was, I'm not even sure why the Zofia was all the way over there. That effectively turns into a 4v5 for the office state. Now, maybe you want to go for a late flank. However, maybe you should focus on actually taking the site you want to before you go for a late flank, because it takes probably 20 seconds, if that, to actually get into position for a late flank. And even then, you don't even need to if you're just holding angles and the bomb goes down. So overall, it was a question. Overall, it was just this was just a questionable attack from Nora Rango. And in all honesty, I feel like I feel like Nora Rango is so used to using Thatcher on this site that without him, they kind of struggle.
Another kill, and despite a bad
And really that, yeah, I think that's really it in all honesty, because they seemed like they were a little bit off trying to get into positions to actually take out things.
start, Fnatic will take the
And
very first round
the Maverick player doesn't really look like a Maverick player.
here in Milan and put themselves up.
Now I want to see whether or not they actually give us the kills.
All right, so that was an interesting round. It seemed
Wait, do they really not?
it's easy side of was it destroyed? A little too early. A little too
Oh, okay. It looks like there's not even a. It looks like there's not even. I thought that they were going to be doing a replay of all the kills. However, it looks like they only did that for these Actually, no, for the semifinals and the finals. Now, I'll actually be back in a minute. I need to go to the restroom, but once that's done, I'll go over the Opria selection now. Alright, so I'm back. Sorry about that. Hold on, I'm gonna go close my door so I can't do the toilet as easily. I hope that helps. Sorry about the sensitivity of the mic. Due to how I record it, really I can't adjust the noise gate. Well, I probably can, I just don't know how to. Since I'm new to this, but... Oh yeah, so let's go over the changes to everything. So, Fnatic wins upstairs, even though they give 2 bodies early, and then somehow turns a 3v5 into a 3v2. Still don't really know how that happens. Then, so Nora Rango, they made a few changes. They dropped the they dropped the Maverick for a Twitch because he doesn't look like a Maverick player in all honesty. I mean, with the Twitch, they can now take out everything that Fnatic has, but they can also take out the Valkyrie cameras, the Maestro cams, so really, this Twitch now is a counter to the Maestro, the Valkyrie, the Mute, the Jaeger, and the Legion. So if you ever see this setup right here, drop someone on your team for an IQ. Because IQ counters 1, 2, 3, 4 of these if you play vertically. So I would say, I don't think this Capital is doing a lot in my opinion. So I dropped the Capital. Because, I mean, maybe the Jackal can definitely help, especially on close maps. So he can be a real pain to go against. But overall, I'd say drop the Capital and get an IQ. Then onto the changes of Fnatic. They dropped the Bandit for a Legion, which makes sense because you're going to be condensing a little bit, and this isn't really a site, the workshop ventilation, where you are actively really denying any wall. So it's normally better to just go mute rather than care about the bandit for bandit tricking. And with the Legion, you will be gaining a large amount of info as to where the enemy is pushing from. So really, I mean, you throw a goo mine down, is it there? Well, that means they're not pushing there. Is it not there? Well, they're pushing there. It's that simple. So back onto the actual setup now.
It was unfortunate for Nora, and it did work out heavily against them.
I mean, also, though, that Evil Eye being up wasn't necessarily why that swing happened back in their favor. A lot of it was piggybacked off of Virtue's play and then Magnet as well. There's Valkyrie cameras in play additionally, so there might be multiple...
Alright, so bomb site is downstairs, but Lusty is reinforcing these walls, and I believe Virtue is reinforcing these walls. So the reasoning for that is if you want to hold Ventilation Workshop, you have to be able to hold above. And I think, yeah. What am I doing? Just simple square. You have to be able to hold above. And if you don't hold above, then you're basically going to lose. Because if you lose, this is really the important part right here. If you lose your player here, they can plant B without too much trouble. To hold B, you really can't hold it from inside of A. You expose yourself a little bit too much. As well as there's a table right about here, which is bulletproof, that you can plant behind. Literally, if you don't make any... in your games, if you ever are attacking downstairs and you see that there are no kill holes above the B bomb site, make a call to your team, hey, there are no kill holes above B, just rush in, have the planter plant here, somebody watches the main door, somebody watches the rotate hole, and you're good. You win. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's not a hard thing to do. So that's that. So really, the reinforcements for upstairs, normally these two walls, just because it forces utility usage, and if you mute it, then and there's no Thatcher, they have to actually expose themselves to get it, or expose utility to get it. And then these two, because a lot of it has to do with sightlines more than anything else. If these two aren't reinforced, then you have this sightline, you have this sightline, somebody can come into office, sightline. So, and if you have control over this hatch as an attacker, you can plant behind there's a little workbench, or there's a little thing of cover right there next to the bathroom that you can plant behind. So if you don't control the hatch as a defender, they can plant there. And then kind of the same thing with B. If you don't control this area, they can plant B. So really, it's the defenders are trying to stop the attackers from getting sight lines that force them out of these two squares.
Different instances of information that could possibly be being given to the rest of Fnatic.
Right.
So it's all speculation on our part, but they were able to react effectively, and you could see that they kept one.
Now this hatch that Rizraz is reinforcing is questionable, and we'll have to see exactly what the strategy is, but I don't necessarily see the purpose in roaming down in customs to the degree that that hatch needs to be reinforced, because customs doesn't really change much for this site. If you because you can roam around customs, which is below where Rizraz is right now, without really being able to affect anything. Because if you as an attacker can take CCTV, take this area right here, then you open up the wall here, which gives you access to roughly this area right here. No defender can now play inside of there. If you then use the Capital they have, then you can take out this area with your firebolts. So now the defenders can't play there. If you put someone on this window and you claymore this window, the defenders now cannot play anywhere inside of here. They also can't play this general area right here. Then if this wall is opened and this is left soft, you can shoot open, which makes it so that this entire area you can't play as a defender. So really the only place you can play is right here. However, if you try and fight that against a good team, they're just going to gun you down. There's going to be 2 people out here watching and a person watching here. So you can't play there, really. And once you're forced out of all this area, well, you can't contest above B. And now, because you can't contest above B, it doesn't matter if somebody is down inside of the customs area, because they can't really influence much. Because if somebody is on the window, because really, the customs, I believe the only real way to contest is the window, which goes, I want to say right about here, give or take, where the window, you can shoot through the door to kind of where the metal table is in B. However, that's only one angle, and the attackers can just watch that. And if you try and flank around... actually, I need to wait until we get a... I'll explain kind of why, but this hatch is just questionable. I need to get a... Let me see if I can find a view. Wait, hold on. I might be able to if I go back a little bit. Okay. This isn't working, so instead, I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to look at Rainbow Six maps, because this will actually probably simplify a lot of things. So, here we go. This is the first floor right here, this setup. So, with this is customs where the hatch was reinforced. This was the reinforced hatch. Now, that means that somebody's going to be trying to play somewhere around this custom area for Fnatic. Now, that is questionable for me, because let's say that you've lost. Remember, I showed you the second floor where you can take security pretty easily. Oh god, that color. So you can take security pretty easily without too much trouble. I want to actually increase the size. Why is there... Here we go. So you can take security. So once you take security, you don't have to worry about it. You're an attacker, you take security. Okay, a wall gets opened. Now you can no longer play roughly this area right here. Then the wall was soft here, so you can no longer play inside of Armory. Then with that clear, you can now capital. You can't play here because there's a sight line from outside, from the balcony. Then you capital this, so now you can't play here. As well as you take Buck. If you take Buck and go underneath the window, you can buck up, and a lot of times you can kill whoever's playing behind that wall. Then this window makes it so that nobody can play here. Well, once you lose sight of this, once you lose this part of the map, you're now no longer able to contest B, because you now have no kill holes into ventilation. And a lot of the times you don't want to have all of this open, because if all of this wall is open from the windows, really from the windows, I need to reduce my size now. From the window here, you can contest a large amount of the server room from there and from here. So you don't want to have this wall open. So you're not going to. So you can't really be contesting a plant through that wall, as well as if you plant behind this desk after moving in kind of like this, you're not going to be able to, you can't stop that, because this desk right here is bulletproof. So now, let's say you're trying to stop that plant. Well, now you're going to have to deal with the person inside of customs. So the person inside of customs, now, he has 2 options. The first, well, technically he has 3 options. He can either come out, go up the stairs, and start going for a flank on above the bomb site. However, that's going to take a really long amount of time, and it's going to, and in 7 seconds, you are not going to be able to kill whoever is up there holding angles, as well as stop whoever's planting and get the call out to do that. So that you can't really do. Then, you're going to try and peek this in order to get into the ventilation room. Thing is, you just got to put a person holding an angle, and you can't do that now. So now, kind of the whole point of holding customs, you can move someone around to get an angle on the planter from this window through the door to the bomb plant. However, put someone here, hold the angle, or there's a little box here you can rappel up here, jump down to here, and it's like a little chain link fence. You can actually run across that, get onto the barbed wire area right here, and then also hold an angle. So the overall, I'm questioning the reinforcement here because there is no real way for a person inside of the customs to actually contest the bomb plant into B, and so it's very questionable. And it's not the only way you can contest customs. You can just take someone, you can take Buck, put him outside this door, open up this wall, take someone else, open up here, and as a team, you just push, and you can take customs easily. So why Fnatic is actually reinforcing customs, I don't seem to understand. Now, maybe they're expecting an A push, however, that really shouldn't change much. It really shouldn't change anything at all, in all honesty, because when you're taking the two attacking strats you have for this site is you either go for the armory push, where you take this area so you can plant down in B, or you take the office area and then the archives area. Then you establish hatch control. You have someone kind of go into B, and you then have someone going to B from bathroom. You have people just watching flanks. So overall, once again, somebody down inside of customs, like you can go for a flank. Maybe you're trying to shoot through like this. However, you're going to be exposing yourself to this doorway. And a good team is going to know that, and they're going to be having someone watching the flank for anybody trying to shoot through the wall here. So overall, I'm not sure why exactly Fnatic is reinforcing the hatch. I really don't understand that.
Right. So it's all speculation on our part, but they were able to react effectively, and you could see that they kept one body from.
But we can now see what they're actually going to do after my little. I can't seem to understand why they actually reinforced that. Also, don't understand why they are going to put more. I don't understand what they're actually going to put inside of there. That will. I don't know who they're going to put inside of there and play inside of there. That needs that reinforcement to hold it. So reinforcements go upstairs. I wish they gave me a view of the downstairs.
Whose accuracy and his game sense has shown itself to be among the best in his entire region, and with enough opportunity, likely the rest of Pro League. We'll march on into the second round, and it's
Alright, so I think based on this setup, the positions of Yoshinga, Mariu, they are going for an office push. Kind of like they did the other time. Normally, a team that will do an office push likes doing a lot of office pushes. I believe the team Reciprocity, the North American team who got third this season, also likes going office pushes on border. So Virtue kills Yoshingo, and I don't know how he manages to do that. Let's see if I can get an angle on that. So Yoshingo's rappelling down a window. No, he's on the roof. He then dies. What? I'm very confused by that. But I don't know how Yoshingo manages to die at the 48 second mark. I don't get that. There is no reason that you should ever be dying that early on in the game, especially at a Pro League level. You should be working as a team to take site, to take areas of the map. And with that, you can, really you should be working as a team and at minimum be refragged and be holding angles instead of just, I don't know what they're doing in all honesty.
First 2 rounds and he's getting aggressive again. He might get the second.
Okay, this is really bad from Nora Rengo. Last round, they got gunned down by Virtue and basically lost the round because of it. and from the exact same angle, Virtue peeks and guns down Mariu. At the 53-second mark, Norarengo has lost 2 bodies. That is terrible. Norarengo is not proficient at doing an office take based off of this. This right here looks almost like a ranked team that's going in one by one, saying, let's do an office push, but not actually understanding what an office push needs. So now, 3 versus 5. 3 versus 5 at 2 minutes. So now they're checking the angle. Well, kind of a little late there. And now 2 members of Norarengo are outside of office. Why are there 2 members outside of office if they are unable to actually contest? Well, why are there 2 members outside of office after just losing a body inside of office? Why did he just run in by himself? And why is the team not acting as a team and instead making it a 3v5? Right now, Fnatic isn't showing anything special. They're just peeking things and winning. Now, this is actually good. I like this call made by Fnatic. They said, okay, we've done our job. It's now a 3v5. Let's just get out. Okay, so that's how Virtue killed Yoshingo. Now, that answers one question. So, first question I had was the question I had was, how is Yoshingo dying at the 40-second mark? My next question, why is Yoshingo the buck here? What is this going to accomplish? I want to know what exactly the strategy is for Norarengo that they decided they just have to go here. Like, this is where you want your buck. Do you want him playing on the window here? Is that what you're going for? Well, if that's what you're going for, you need a Claymore here. You need someone watching the window. You need something like that. But they don't do any of that. So what is that going to accomplish? 2, what is the buck, even if he does rappel down, going to accomplish there? As long as nobody on Fnatic peaks, he's useless. And I want to actually check something. What? I was signing from Discord. But this is so this is just questionable as to why Buck is dying there for an office push from Norarengo. That's not an office push, that's an armory push there. So why are there 2 separate pushes going on where Buck is doing his own thing, Twitch is doing their own thing, and then the other 2 members are doing their own thing as well? And there's a third which I don't even know what's going on with them. Then somehow Virtue is able to do this run out. I don't know how.
There you have it, a nice replay just
Next question, why is Papilia in main lobby? I'm not understanding the entirety of this push. So they throw Buck on the roof to drone. They then have Twitch enter office by herself with nobody providing cover from the one area they got gunned from last time. There's nobody backing up for a refrag. There's no one backing up to hold angles. There's Papilia's down in main lobby, okay. Maybe watching for a flank, acceptable. Where are the other members though? Why is there an office push going on that seems to have most of the people not in office? This is bad. This is very bad. Why is the Capitao using a firebolt on a shield with no one behind it? That tells me that nobody is droning on Norarengo. That tells me that Papilia has no clue what anything is going on around him. This is a wasted firebolt. Firebolts are hugely useful. This one is not. This is a wasted fireball. This is wasted utility.
Tailor their push over towards the site, but down two very important operators, both the Buck and the Twitch. This could prove to be quite difficult.
Bill's trying to cut off rotation there, allowing for his teammate above to get
Alright, so Ramu plays vertically and kills aces. That's really just, it's a vertical angle, it's a pain to actually deal with. Ramu manages to get the kill, and aces loses it, but then Virtue kills Papilia. Remember how somebody was just in main lobby for some reason, and was nobody on Nora Rango's really playing off of one another? Well, they're kind of getting gunned down now because of it. And it's a 2 versus 4.
Another kill. So there you go. That's 3, I believe, in this round for Virtue. He has just been having a blast, looking for a potential.
So if I want to see if I can see the dead body. Is that the dead body? I'm thinking that this is the dead body right here. And I'm wondering, I really hope it's not, because if that's the dead body, why is a Capitao walking in, exposing himself to the bathroom, to the door, to the hallway, and to here? To where Virtue is. 4 angles. 4 angles is what they're exposing themselves to. Why? There's no reason for it. That is that is not a good play. That is not the play to make.
Only a minute for these 4 defenders on Fnatic to delay Nora's last 2 attackers.
And Razel seems to have a line of sight onto where Virtue is going to be, or at least some information as to where he could possibly be playing out. He'll miss.
So it looks like basically it looks like the basics of what's happening right here is the hatch above Virtue was reinforced, the one I was talking about, because they were expecting this push. Fnatic knows that Nora Rango's doing this push. And they know that Nora Rango just likes walking from the main lobby through the hallway to site. So if they put Virtue here, then he's safe, because because Nora Rango isn't entering through customs. They don't seem to know Virtue's position. They don't seem to be able to make the call, okay, let's just take offices as a team, then move down to main lobby as well as the tellers area. Then we take bathroom, we open up the site, and without exposing ourselves to a large number of angles, we just get the plant down. Because let me see if I can get a map. So basically, instead of saying we take the office area and then the archives, at which point we basically just put one person on either the window or one person in archives just holding an angle, then because really you don't even have to put a person in here. You just have to basically make sure nobody enters and fights this hatch. So you do that. So you've taken all of this. Well, now you have somebody watching the main hallway. You have, let's just say, one person playing the hatch, and maybe somebody playing an armory or holding a flank or something, but really it's arguable about all of that. But basically you've taken office control as the big thing. The whole flank watch isn't the issue. So now, with that, you take main lobby. Alright, you have main lobby control. Let's just assume you have passport control as well. There's not a rotate hole there. If there is, that's not really a big deal. You then, instead of walking through the main area right here, where you can get gunned down from the angle, instead of that, why don't you just enter this window right here, have the Jackal win his gunfight, and as he's shooting, have somebody come in from tellers to help, open up the wall, have one person hold an angle here, have one person hold an angle here, have one person plant, have one person, say, right about, I'm trying to figure out where the angle is. You can probably, from right about here, I think. You hold an angle like that, because that will basically stop a lot of the shots from coming out from anybody trying to swing from customs, you're now not exposing yourself to customs, but you're watching the flank. You have the ability to actually deal with that. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 players here, and you have the 5th player above just making sure that nobody is playing the hatch. You don't have to... It makes this entire customs area useful. It makes it a non-factor. So why that's not happening, I don't know. Instead, they seem almost to be feeding Fnatic when it comes to the kills. Instead of just being methodical about what they do, they're just walking in saying, yeah, I can do this. Virtue gets another kill. Ramu gets a kill, but it's a 1 versus 3, so he's just stat padding at this point. And think about this. Every single kill on Fnatic right now was from Virtue. All they had to do was open up the window in offices and hold an angle on top of the archives shelf. If they did that, they would have gunned down Virtue. 5 versus 4. They could have had a good chance of winning. Instead, they chose not to do that. And that's just a basic thing that they should not be having trouble with.
Diffuser, rack up as many points as he can in the process, but where is he going to go? Does he have information on the rest of the defense?
30 seconds left, 1 versus 3. No diffuser. None of Fnatic is not playing aggressive, which is very good. And he gets gunned down by Lusty, so... I don't think Nora Rango has ever... I don't know where they are getting these... I don't know where they practice their office strat, but they need to dry run it for an hour straight. Just say, okay, you go here, okay, wall gets opened, we push in, you hold this angle, we do this, we do that, and you do that. And if I'm... Let me see. And there's even a buck. There's a buck, so you could have easily been playing vertically for the bathroom. So I don't get why people are all just entering... Why people are so spread out. When Border is a map that you can hold a very large number. You can hold a large... Well, you don't have to hold a large area of the map. You can hold a very small area of the map and win because you just have to hold a few flanks. I just want to make sure I'm recording. So,
at this point, I think at this level,
that was a questionable strat. Alright, so Virtue just runs out and guns down Yoshingo because there's a Valkyrie camera outside. Why Yoshingo is over there, I don't know. I don't know what call was made to have him rotate over there, but that was a bad call. So, 4v5. Okay, so, I was wrong. Papilia kills Capital, who was crouch walking in lobby. That was overall just good game sense from him. However, why Capital is being exposed to that, I don't know. I don't understand the crouch walking thing. I don't understand why exactly he's even exposing himself to it. Because a lot of Siege is about what you don't expose yourself to than what you do. The least you expose yourself to, the better your chance of survival.
Wow, one through the wall. I mean, just everything looked out fantastic there for Fnatic, and even actually that second kill, the 4th total, came through the wall as well.
So 2 kills through a wall because they're exposing themselves to a wall.
Quite interesting on the same.
And nothing that Ramu can do. His entire team got gunned down.
I mean, like we said, you've got a Maestro on the board, you've got a Valkyrie on the board. They are likely device cameras with your own eyes.
I think there's a tactical timeout, which is good. Norango needs to... They need to just talk with themselves. But I'm wondering if Waka, an old player of Norango, was the IGL, the in-game leader who made the strats and the strat calls. Because if it was, this would make a lot more sense, because this does not look like a coordinated team. I do like the raccoon, though. I like it. It's a raccoon, anyway. Good old trash pandas.
Because they weren't at the Invitational 2018, but since then, they've been a staple. On Waka, they found
2019, it was definitely a solid...
Alright, so now... Is it actually going to tell me where they are?
Things seem to be working. So we're gonna...
Okay, so it is a bathroom teller's defense. this is I would say is the weakest site on Alright, I say it's the weakest site on Border, but I think it actually has a pretty decent win rate. Because if you go here with the intention, with a pocket strat, which most teams are going to struggle to counter. And because of that, they have a chance of, Fnatic has a good chance of winning it. That's just my thought process though. So, let's look at the operator setup, selection. Ramu is now on, so they decided to drop the Jackal, who really didn't do much, and the, who was the last player? Twitch, I'm gonna say Twitch, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Oh, timeouts. Oh, yeah, no, it was a Twitch. Okay. Alright, so they dropped the Twitch and the Jackal for a Zofia and a Glaz. So, I find this a little strange. Because overall, it seems like the issue with Nora is their overall ability, their overall strat. So, you know, maybe they have a strategy for the Glaz, and maybe there's a strategy for the Zofia. However, Zofia is a rather plain operator. On this map, she doesn't really have much that she's special at. Because of that, I would say that the main thing she should be, I would say the Jackal would be better, or the Twitch. Yep, actually, yeah. The Twitch would have been better, or the Maverick, especially the Maverick. Because right now, Nora Rango has no way of stopping a Mute or a Cade. So, two well-placed Mute jammers, and they can't get into offices. Then, and you throw some Jaeger devices down there, bam, they're not getting in through there. And that may throw off everything for them. So what? The Zofia pick, I'm against. The Glaz pick, I don't understand. That's not me saying it's a bad pick and I don't understand why you went them. It's I don't know what they're going to do with Glaz at this point. I need to see whether or not it was a good pick based on the strategy they employ. Then Buck, I can't tell you whether or not Buck is good because Yoshingo's just been getting gunned down a minute in every single round. Then Papilia, look, this is a bathroom defense, so Papilia on Capitao is very useful. However, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure whether or not it's a good pick. I'm going to see based on this round, because if the Capitao isn't used here, then they should drop the Capitao, because there is no purpose in bringing a Capitao if you're not using the utility. Bring someone who you can do something with, because if you're not doing anything with Capitao, then no point in bringing him. Now, on the Fnatic lineup, they dropped Legion and they picked up Cade while keeping everything else the same. Makes sense. If they reinforce some hatches, there's no way Norango can get through them. So, and if they throw those things on the walls, well, Norango can't get them. So yeah, really, this is just Norango is a questionable lineup because they don't have any way of actually stopping the Meteor or the Cade. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I think that's the exact same camera that Magnet threw last round, because it seemed as if Virtue knew where the Virtue knew where two of the members of Nora were and just shot through a wall, because he got 2 kills that way. So I think that they had a cam on them. I think it's that cam. So at this point, I don't understand why they don't. Maybe they should drop the Capitao or the Capitao or Buck for the IQ, because then they can do something.
First and primary bomb site. It would be impressive for Fnatic to pull that off. This is the low-hanging.
I don't think this wall is even reinforced. Now, let's look at this. So these 3 walls are reinforced. The reasoning for that is you don't want the attackers to be able to take Workshop and just shoot in through all of A. That's it. That's the entire purpose of that.
Fruit, as we like to say, for Nora, the round that Nora certainly should take. And if they're incapable,
It's really, as defense, if you lose A, you're not going to retake A. If you can get a bomb site, if you can get a bomb plant down in A, and you can put like just 2 bodies inside of there, then you have a good chance of winning.
Good for Nora, at least in this first.
All right, so Hatch is getting reinforced by Rizraz. I'm gonna assume that Cade's gonna throw his electric claw on there.
There's a site that is less defendable than the others.
God, please just stay on him to see if that's where it went. Okay, let me actually check this.
And if they're incapable.
Okay, he has 2 electro claws now. He has 1 electro claw now. So yes, that Hatch in customs just got hit by, just got a Cade used on it. So there's Cade number 1.
As mentioned right at the very start, these teams are very evenly matched as teams, but when they play each other, that's not the way it tends to go.
So
2-0 results that we see dominating the way that these teams have played each other, and then how lopsided the actual
kill holes coming from above. You need kill holes.
for Nora in the next couple rounds, because historically, the team that takes a big early lead doesn't really relinquish it. The only real time that comes to mind was in the 2019 quarterfinals for the Six Invitational.
I'm really hoping that there is a purpose of that. I'm hoping that there is a Maestro cam there.
But since then, the team that storms out to this big lead has a really good opportunity against one another. And given the fact that Nora is still trying to iron things out,
I'm not sure about the point of that Claymore. I'm really not. It's a questionable one. Because once you take control of the stairs, because you can't really play on those stairs, then as a defender you can't play on them, you're not going to have to fear a run out from that door. So why are Claymores being used there? I don't know. That just seems questionable. Why not put it on the office window so that if someone tries to jump out of office, in case the bomb goes down, they die? Wouldn't that not make more sense?
with their team, and given the fact that Fnatic seems to have started off quite strong, that is a problem that Nora might have to work against. So, with this bathroom teller's defense downstairs, you're going to see an awful lot of presence on that second floor. Basically sitting over top of the teller's site. You might have some kind of control or rotate inside a bathroom.
Okay, I don't understand this in the slightest. There is no way that Fnatic should be able to lose that wall a minute in to a Thermite just putting his charge down. Lusty still had one of his Cades, and I think he just forgot to throw it because the wall gets opened, and now holding this office area is going to be a nightmare for the defense. There's no reasoning for that. He didn't mean to drop right there. One, why that wall? Okay. Why nobody is just repelled on here? Because there's some crates here you can use for cover. Why nobody's just repelled, holding an angle, watching for rotates? I don't know. Because if you're taking office and you can actually take it, then you can do stuff. You can get kills. They could have killed Virtue here, the guy who literally just nearly aced them last round. And I think he almost just shot his teammate, but but why the door of East isn't open, I don't know. And then also why Virtue's even went for that aggressive play, I don't know. But really, this is all just questionable.
Only a little bit of delay work done by Fnatic. It is going to make things much more tricky. The way that Fnatic have been playing in this match so far seems to be pure aggression. I mean, all of the recovery that we've seen from Fnatic in that first round, it was Virtue just getting aggressive, taking fights.
Alright, so now Capital's being moved over. The Firebolt was used to... They just firebolted something that had no purpose being firebolted. There was no one there. Now here's the thing. Nora now has office control. Why not put 2 people upstairs, bring 2 people down, have one of them, say, holding this angle, one repel on the north side holding an angle into the room as well, then have someone just plant the vending machine? Because, okay, yeah, actually, that wouldn't work because it's possible for someone to throw a nitro cell from the door to the soda machine. So, maybe you switch it up. Instead of having Papilia here, Papilia moves and holds an angle on the window. So Papilia is now holding... Papilia, well, he's either holding an angle on the door, or he firebolts it, and it has useful utility instead of this. Then, because of that, the bomb can go down. So the bomb goes down, and now Norarengo just has to hold angles. So let's see what they decide to do in this situation. They have top control. They don't have control of the bomb site, but they don't need control of the bomb site. They need control of above, and to make sure nobody can just run up and kill the planter. Rizraz kills the Buck. The third time in the round in a row that the Buck has been literally useless. I'm not sure. I think Yoshingo's the new player for Norarengo, and I think they ended up dropping JJ. But I think that was a mistake, because right now, Yoshingo has done absolutely nothing. And I'll be back in a minute. I've been chugging water, so I need to go to the restroom again. Alright, I am back. So Yoshingo gets killed somehow. I don't know how. I would like to see it. I'm going to assume that he was not holding an angle and just waiting for the bomb to go down.
That is a little bit telling.
Okay, so minute 30 now. Let's see. When does Virtue drop? So Virtue comes over, drops. Alright, so 30 seconds ago, before, here, actually, let me get to this. Let me catch up a second. Alright, so right now it is now a 4v5 because Yoshingo gets gunned. And it's been 30 seconds since Fnatic have vacated offices. There is no reason that literally 30 seconds of time can pass and you're still holding an angle on offices waiting for someone to drone it out. That is just bad team coordination. They should know the moment that within 10 seconds that the room is clear and that they can go and push.
Is a little bit telling, don't you think?
And say he's holding an angle, and Yoshingo gets gunned on the stairs by a mute. Okay. Okay. I don't understand how that happens, but okay. I'm not sure why that is possible, but apparently it is. Now here, the first real thing that Norarengo has shown me since the first round, they're starting off with a double kill, with them actually wanting to compete in this round. Racil refrags. That is something that needs to happen at high level play. And this is the first time I'm seeing it in round 3.
So it's not quite over here for Nora. They're going to keep the momentum going. That's going to make things tricky.
Ray almost loses.
So Glaz is on stairs. Why? Glaz is an entry fragger. And his goal is to smoke an entry and then frag. Smoke, enter, frag. That's his goal. Why is he Like, I understand why he's droning, but why? I don't think that Nora even knows that they have office controls. Virtue's now just waiting patiently for a flank. He's peeking. He gets droned and then just gives it up and runs away. That's very good of him. If you get droned as a roamer, just get out of there, make them waste time hunting you down.
On every single site, but this one in particular because it's very claustrophobic with where you're going to sit. Still very low. You could possibly
oh god, why is this the strategy?
And Virtue are trying to hold down a push inside of Tellers.
Plan is actually going down, and it doesn't seem like Fnatic has any denial for this.
Okay. I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't understand that plant spot because it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to hold that because you need to basically have hatch control and you have to have main lobby control and you have to worry about runouts. You have to have the south wall control. I don't even think the south wall will give you an angle there. So I don't know why that's the plant spot. I really don't. I'm not sure. So let's see what happens.
Situation. They think it's behind Soda. A bad call goes down and that's
okay. So plant goes down, but Racel then dies. I mean, he did his job. He got the plant down. But there was no more smoke cover, and yeah, he gets gunned down. That's not a good spot, especially based on the setup that Fnatic had, because they had a lot of those walls just already open. So the moment that smoke goes away, they're going to lose the ability to play inside the site. Magni then kills Ramu. I don't even know how. So did Ramu kill?
Is going to get one onto Magnet. It's a great refrag, and he's on the perfect post-plant position, as is Mariu.
Okay. Okay. I don't know why. All right, so there's a large. That was a questionable play. Maybe Mariu got a bad call out. Maybe he couldn't hear and thought something was defusing. But it takes 7 seconds to defuse. If he drops hatch in a 1 versus 3, when he probably didn't even think it was a 1 versus 3. So he drops hatch and gets gunned down and nobody's on the diffuser. But overall, that is just very questionable as to the entirety of that plant. Because all it would take, because the only denial that Fnatic had for the vending machine plant was Cade throwing some impact nades. So all they had to do was take office, which they did. Have 2 people play office, play above, just hold angles, wait for the flank from Virtue. Have 1 person hold an angle onto the doorway here. Have 1 person hold an angle onto the actual site from outside. Wait for them to come to you, gun them down. And then just get the bomb down and win. Instead, they decided to plant in the weirdest offsite location I've ever seen, and they got gunned because of it.
A miscalculation in the extreme, and Fnatic will get an excellent recovery, one that they should not have been gifted.
No, and there you have it, and that kill onto the Capitao had to have been the straw that broke that camel's back, not just in terms of the fact that it put Nora in a 1v3, but where that Capitao is playing, he should be largely unkillable. You're playing up top, outside, looking at those 2 windows. You have a line of sight onto that diffuser. Don't peek it.
Alright, so let's see what happens. If you want to contest one main lobby, open up the windows. Don't try and come crouch walking down the stairs and then get gunned.
I mean, we'll probably get a good look at it here in the replays as to exactly what happened. But man, that is a powerful position, especially with the way the cap.
Racel, he got lucky with that headshot. He got very, very lucky. But Yoshingo? I don't know. He does not... I know this is his first LAN environment, but this should not be... He should be playing better than this. From what I know about Nora Rango, I mean, they're not a bad team by any stretch, but this entire... They legitimately look like a joke here. I mean, this bomb plant. They're going for an off-site plant. That only works if you can actually hold the plant. They couldn't do that. Go for a default plant and get really, really, really good at the default plant. This is a bathroom teller's defense, and they had office gifted to them at 2 minutes. So, I don't know. I really don't.
You have to wonder if the usage of the para factors in at all, because with the M249.
So, I really want to say this again.
But man, that is a powerful position, especially with the way the Capitao has played as of late. You have to wonder if the
So, Magnet... Why is Magnet allowed to play here? Why is nobody watching for someone to just run through main lobby and gun down the planter?
usage of the para factors in at all, because with the
Why is Ramu not paying any attention?
M249, you could sit up there and just kind of
Alright, so somebody's playing Hatch. Papilia is. That's great.
but
Let me tell you this. If you want to get this bomb site and you want to be able to actually shoot from the windows, open up both windows. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. If you can't repel and your head's going to be somewhere around this area and you only have one window open, then all I have to do is move my mouse from here to there to there. I can do that all day. I don't even have to I don't even have to use my keyboard. I can literally just stand there, right click, and wait. This was a bad play. So Virtue kills Papilia because he's exposing himself.
And Papilia really should not have lost that at all.
Yeah, and then that ultimately I think cost the round along with the glass drop.
So, very, very questionable by everything from Norango so far. They look very, very lost. Now the thing is, this goes an hour 17. We're 20 minutes in, and I'm probably at like an hour and a half of actually talking about this. But the thing is, they seem to actually have a bit of a comeback, so let's see what they do.
It did cost Nora quite a lot. In fact, it cost them a whole round. So what that means is now we've just seen Fnatic complete a full cycle on border, something that you don't normally see happen. Again, as this is not one of those maps.
Alright, so Fnatic wins, and now they gotta go back to their primary site.
Given that, it means Fnatic now get to go back to their most comfortable site, which is Armory.
So it's like the same basic reinforcements are going down. Wall, 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 wall. These two are being reinforced over here.
That is evident as it was the first site that they picked.
I'm going to assume that they're reinforcing the office wall as well. And I want to see what Norango does, because they've seen this defense. Okay, yes, so.
Couldn't make it past offices.
Alright, so here we go. Some changes. They dropped the Zofia. I think it was a Zofia anyway. Is Zofia and the Glass, and they picked back up Maverick and IQ. I like that. I like that they're saying, okay, we're getting gunned down because we don't know where these Valkyrie cameras are. We need to be able to counter all of this utility, and we need to know more. I like the pick. I still think Twitch would be better than... I still believe... You know, at this point, I want to say that they should drop the Buck. And that's a very stupid thing to say for Norango. I mean, for on board. Because it's a Buck. He's really, really good. But on Yoshingo right now, he's useless. Legitimately, if Yoshingo at this point brought Twitch just zapped a few of the electronics, he would probably accomplish more than what he's been doing on Buck so far. I think, let's see, does it show me Yoshingo's stats? It does not.
It did not work out. Fnatic with a lockout, and it was thanks to Virtue's excellent aggressive fragging towards offices.
Possibly an
Alright, so this is good from Aces. He's saying, okay, my teammates are around here. I'm going to be very careful about where I actually shoot this thing. I will take another 2 seconds in order to actually make sure they don't die.
Really impressive with how effortless Norango took control of that wall. They picked Lusty off, who's trying to bandit trick on the office wall.
Alright, so Norango is now going for another office push.
themselves in
Let's
a
see if
bind
they can actually do this
with
one.
full office control, but nobody bothered to look up in archives, and nobody bothered to
Look at all this
possibly
utility.
when, as you said, he got very
Here's the thing, Ramu right now can jump in below. There's probably not anyone going to be there, and he can drone out to make sure. Have someone watch his drone just in case of a flank, and just shoot out all the utility in office.
impressive. Back onto the roof control now for Nora Rengo, as I wouldn't be too surprised to see an armory side.
I do not understand why Yoshingo is there.
Offices tend
And this is very, very bad from Norengo. Do you see? This door is closed. That means that nobody from Norengo has come from Valley, shot open these two doors, and is now playing the stairs. That means that a defender right now can literally just walk up the stairs, which I doubt Norengo would know about, or come from hallway. Once again, Norengo probably wouldn't know about, and gun down both of the hard breachers of Norengo. Okay. All right. Let's see. Camera outside. I think this is a. I think Valkyrie's done this camera every round so far. So I know where Buck is. I don't know why Buck is there. I'm not saying what Buck is there for. Virtue is saying, yeah, you literally can't touch me. I'm just gonna jump out all day long at you.
So look at this. Virtue has been aggressive on this.
Virtue has just been jumping out this window just about every single round. I'm not understanding how that's allowed. I don't understand how they haven't just said, okay, let's hold an angle. That's all they need to do.
For the first time that Fnatic went to that armory defense, it was how he got the first kill of the round. And this
all right.
is what is enabling that. There is an IQ for Nora this time around, so it is definitely possible that this will work out in Nora's favor. But Virtue is still continuing to play with fire. Oh, a free kill here for...
Alright, so that was good from Norengo and bad from Fnatic. Fnatic is literally just saying, yeah, these guys are a joke right now. We can do whatever we want. And Ramu just walked through main lobby. I think he went... I'm not actually sure where he came from, but he came from main lobby, jumped in through a window, and gunned down a Valkyrie on a cam. One thing to note is if you're roaming off-site, don't get on camps. Let somebody who is either dead or on-site safe get on cams. That happens, then Magnet wouldn't die a needless death and it wouldn't be a 5v4. Now, maybe it would be a 5v4, but at least he could have done some damage. Possibly.
That's got to be good drone work that enabled that to play with the Valkyrie down below completely.
Alright, so how Virtue is still playing this position at a minute and a half in, I don't understand. Because it doesn't seem to me like Norengo's accomplished much in a minute and a half.
90 seconds in, you've got your very first kill. You need to go from there. All it's going to do is play somebody below who likely holds a C4 in their hand. And of course, if you know over where the offices and archives floors tend to be.
Because I don't think the wall has been open for office. Okay. If you are in a high-level game, you do not ping. The reason is that ping tells the enemy, hey, we know where you are. You might want to move. Like you're about to get naded. Yeah, you might want to move. Maybe a little bit.
So,
2, why Virtue's on cams when Magnet is dead? I don't understand either.
Capitao still in play this time around, and he's going to start pushing in his firebolts. That's going to make Virtue's life a lot more difficult, and it's clear that Nora are well aware of where Virtue is playing.
Alright, so the Kickstar is right. Norengo knows exactly where Virtue is. Problem is they don't know what the hell to do. They really don't. And I'm not understanding where the trouble of this lies. Because Virtue's just been saying, yeah, I'll peek you, peek. So why doesn't Norengo bring a Blackbeard? That's kind of Blackbeard's one job. Actually, apparently Blackbeard isn't actually the best. Actually, I'm trying to remember if it's a LAN environment. No, I think LAN Blackbeard's amazing because of Pika's advantage is so low. I mean, it's still there, but it's still so low that he can just do whatever.
Playing right now, but he's got support from Lusty and Aces, and he's actually going to be able to make it out.
So 2 minutes in, and a Capital bolts and 2 Capital bolts, and they managed to take off 20 HP of Virtue. I mean, yes, they got the kill on Magnet, but that's really was just a free kill.
2 firebolts being used there. Truly a lot of utility for nothing.
A lot of bodies stacked up though for Fnatic over by the sandwich side of things, and this could be very dangerous as they could end up getting caught out and then pushed back. If Nora Rengo can sweep in, it'll put Fnatic in a position where they're going to need to retake, but they're going to be retaking into the line of sight of Nora Rengo. We need to try and time this frag grenade perfectly alongside a Maverick.
A pro level play, you should be able to figure out what timing you need to have a grenade land anywhere you need it. I mean, if you're literally getting paid for this, then you need to know that stuff. And Yoshingo, he just overcooked his frag grenade, and it took maybe 10 HP off of Lusty.
Lusty is going to be in dangerous position.
Now, Lusty dies, but that was because Maverick just walked in and said, okay, do I see an elbow? Do I see an elbow? Oh, there's an elbow. Fantastic. Rizraz then refrags on Mariu, something Nora Rengo isn't really doing. But now, Nora Rengo's in the best situation they possibly could be. They have 30 seconds left, man advantage, and sight control.
Back from Rizraz on the Mariu, and Fnatic will look to hold on. They are sequestered. None of the 3 remaining members of Fnatic are over towards the proper site. They are nestled inside of Armory, and they'll need to do something to push on.
Alright, so I'm not 100% sure about what Ramu is actually doing there. However, he was waiting for a hatch drop, and he got down the Valkyrie. Actually, was it the Valkyrie? No, that was... that was a mute. I just messed up on the uniforms.
Virtue will need to be so big as they have been in the past, especially with Virtue on the board. Can't write this one off just yet. Here's going to be some secondary pressure.
Now, smokes go down. IQ is holding an angle on the rotate.
Aces will be there to possibly greet her. Rushing on in as Aces taken down.
That was really, really lucky from Yoshingo killing Aces right there. And I think a lot of that had to do with server-sided... well, actually, I'm not sure exactly what that was, so we'll see. However, one thing to note is Virtue still got the kill there, and that's something that really shouldn't... That's something that shouldn't be happening if you're holding the proper angles. Because this smoke kind of messed up IQ as well. But the one main difference between this round and last round was Nora Rengo held angles, and look at the refrags. Look at all the refrags. Somebody dies, kill. Someone dies, kill. Someone dies, another kill. That is fantastic. That's what Nora Rengo needs at this point. Because they haven't shown that yet. And now, the one time they really start showing it, they show that they can just hold the angles they need to. They win.
But no, Papilio will shut him down in the very first round for Nora Rengo will go their way as a great lockout. As all of Fnatic got trapped in the wrong bomb site, they did not have any tools to dig themselves out.
So, Nora screams second time's the charm, and here we go, going on to Armory for the second time. Nora managed a successful attack. Beautiful.
Let's see, looks like Fnatic's going for Armory again. So let's see what's happening. Elbow, there we go. Here's the thing, there's no reason for Mariu to be pushing that. I don't know why he even is. That's stupid. You should know that there's a pixel peek being held on this door by a Maestro. You should know that. However, he then peeks, and there's even a crossfire, so Rizraz gets the kill. And why that's even allowed, well, why Mariu's even exposing himself to that, I don't know. Instead, why? Because, I mean, now this site is clear. Why not just play cautiously, shoot this open, hold an angle, far enough that you can see the enemy, but also not far enough that you're exposing yourself to these two. And here's the thing, there's a drone here. Why is there a drone here? Do you like looking at the crates? Is that what you like? Why? Whoever drone this is messed up. So, now, and there we go. Mariu gets a kill, peeks, gets gunned. So,
momentum that Nora managed to generate in the very first round completely blunted.
So then, Virtue kills Ramu. I mean, Virtue's a very good player. Don't get me wrong. So, but it's questionable as to why exactly Ramu was in a situation. Like, well, not really. It's kind of hard for Ramu. He kind of just lost the gunfight, but it happens. But he should have been able to do. He should have been ready for that push.
Virtue, of course, contributing with his kills.
Virtue gets the kill.
First round, and well, it was a great comeback from Fnatic, but that comeback.
So that was I want to say lucky, where Capital managed to smoke it in a way that they can see their feet, because most of the time it's not going to be like that. So that's really how Yoshingo got that. And why he jumped in there, I don't know. That was not the play. I can tell you that right now. That's not the play.
Well, okay, correction. They did shift off on the beautiful read on how Fnatic set up.
Let's see where they're going.
It is clear that Nora were aware of.
I think they're going Armory again, but I'm not 100% sure. Yes, they are. Okay, so I think it's roughly the same setup going on. Yeah, office reinforcement, because that seems to be all that Nora can do. Which, I mean, I don't understand. Why is Nora just only doing office push? If you can't, you need to be able to do at least 2 different attacks and defenses for every single site. I mean, unless you're Empire, because you can do it so damn well, this team is an Empire, I can tell you that much right now. So they need to be having more strategy on their side. Same reinforcements go down. And I think same setup, same lineup from Nora Rengo. And then same, yeah, Fnatic. I think it's the exact same setup from either team. I think both teams are saying, okay, we can do this just fine each. Our strategy is fine. We can make it work. So we'll do that. We'll do that and we'll be good. And we just need to make a little bit of tweak, but overall it works, so we don't need to change anything. And really, I think that's the wrong call, especially from Nora Rengo. Because right now Nora Rengo is not showing me that they're a proficient team on border. Instead, they seem last round was the story of Ramu being able to get two picks, one on the Valkyrie early and one on the mute when they dropped Hatch. And that really is the story of the entirety of why they won that, because they managed to turn to a 3 versus 5, and then they held angles, and they used their utility correctly, and they won. However, let's see what happens if Fnatic doesn't give up 2 bodies. And one thing I'm questioning is I want to know where Lusty's gadgets are going. Because he throws those things on office wall. They can probably hold office for the entirety of the game.
Ultimately, the pressure that was applied from Nora Rengo was perfect because it pushed all of Fnatic back, and Fnatic just
couldn't loves crawling on the ground.
At their disposal to do so. You got a Maestro with a great gun, sure, but his evil eyes are not going to be an influence at that
So
point.
office push again. I'm not surprised.
Once again, great gun, no real utility to do so.
If you're rappelling into here, make sure that the east stairs are clear, because if they're not clear, you're going to get gunned from there at some point.
I really want to know when Nora's going to figure out about that camera being thrown out north every single round, because it has actually given a lot of information to Fnatic throughout these rounds.
So here's my question: Why is Lusty not using his gadget to stop the office push? Because they're investing a large amount in office, but if Lusty just throws his two Cades on the 3 office walls, you can't get those with a Maverick, I'm pretty sure, because if you throw them up high enough, you can't. So I'm questioning as to why they don't just say, okay, mute, switch with me, I'm going to do your job, you do mine, and bam, there you go. So it's questionable.
I'll probably find it out when they counter-strap for the next
Now it looks like Yoshingo's looking for cams. Why Yoshingo is there, I don't know, though. Why Buck is there, I don't know. I don't know I don't think Yoshingo's been doing anything of real value for this team. Because what I'm seeing from him is he's almost just searching for a Valkyrie camera, at which point, Why not just give him IQ, have him spend 30 seconds running around the outskirts of the map, he finds the cam, bam, now you know its positioning, and there you go, and you give Ramu Buck.
It might be a little bit too late.
So I don't know, I'm confused about that.
This is a double elimination.
Season 10 finals, or if they're going to be, if they end up playing each other in Raleigh, then oh, look out for that camera.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure Nora will pick up on it eventually. If not, they still will have a good chance.
Okay, it looks like...
Second half, as long as they get
Okay, I like this. Nora said, okay, we have done this office push so many times. Let's now do another push. Let's take from security. Let's do an armory push. And I like that. I like that a lot. Now what I don't like is Buck is upstairs. Buck plays vertically. His entire thing is he plays vertically. He does that the best out of every operator in the game. So why is he not playing vertically? Why not just bring Sledge at this point? Why not just bring Twitch at this point? I mean, hey, if you're going to be, may as well just go frag hunting. May as well just bring Ash. I mean, what is the point of this Buck pick? This Buck has been doing nothing.
rounds out of this first one, and at least 2. Nora is going to adjust their strategy, though. As you can see, it's going to be an armory take this time around, which is something
I really hope there's...
to really commit to.
Okay, there we go.
I've seen one person attack into armory, and it was a Hail Mary strategy. And that was in the first round.
I'm very interested as to why.
So Yoshingo, I think the purpose of that was to get the Kate Electro Claw.
Bandit. So you saw Lusty running the Bandit in the very first round on Armory. He was looking to actively Bandit trick. He's now been on the Electroclaw duty in Kite. And I think that, number one, you can't actively Bandit trick him.
So, Ramu dies. Don't know how, but he dies to Rizraz. Not sure how. There's no reason that Ramu should be dying to a mute a minute and a half in when they're not going for a push and they're not exposing themselves.
Still, Electroclaw trick. Ramu goes down. That's going to be the very first kill. The IQ.
Okay, I'm not sure what that was. A misplay from Magnet. Good capitalization on it by Raysil. But I'm not sure why exactly he decided. Well, I'm not sure why the camera was. No, I'm not sure about a lot of things. So we saw Yoshingo the Buck use his grenade to destroy an Electroclaw, even though they knew that there was probably someone playing the half wall and there was a camera in there they need to destroy. So why not send the IQ underneath to take out the Electroclaw? Then Yoshingo can use both of his nades to destroy the camera and kill the Valkyrie. And then why doesn't Yoshingo just go down below and just shoot everything? This seems like this is wasteful utility, in all honesty. So IQ wasn't the one to get the charge, the Electroclaw charge, which I mean acceptable. But then why is Buck using a grenade to get it instead of just going below? Why is Buck not bucking out below the Valkyrie? Valkyrie just ran away and she got gunned because of it. It had nothing to do with Buck applying pressure. I'm not sure where Capital is either. I don't think there was a Capital bolt used. But this seems very wasteful in the utility usage. Because right now the Electroclaw was destroyed by a grenade. So at this point, Nora Rango can drop the Buck, pick up a Finka, and do the exact same thing the Buck is doing on border, which is very bad.
Just cuts Magnet down to size, but Virtue's there.
So Raysil kills Magnet, Virtue then kills Papilia. Okay. How is the Capital dying? Why is Capital dying? It's Capital. He's one of the most important operators for this push. He has so much utility that's just been wasted. Right now, I'm seeing wasted utility from 3 of the members of Nora Rango. And a 4th because Mariu, they're using Electroclaws, so he's not being able to do really shit on Maverick when it comes to this push. Now, he got the mutes over in Office, but it doesn't matter. That's not the push they're going for now because they switched it up. So why is one person on Nora Rango actually using their utility correctly, and it's the most simplistic of put on wall and make go boom. Make boom. And that's it. That's the only real utility usage. I'm seeing nothing amazing from Nora Rango. So overall, I'm very questionable about these picks they're using and the overall operator roles that they are going for. And I'm actually going to go to the restroom again because once again, I'm chugging water. I'm back. But really, this is the story of Nora Rango picking 4 operators and not correctly using their intelligence. I'm not using their gadget. I mean, there's still Valkyrie cameras outside, I'm pretty sure. So, we can really go through this one by one, where... Alright, there are Valkyrie cameras outside, and Ramu, I'm pretty sure, isn't playing vertically to take out Electro Claws or Mute Jammers, so Ramu's off. Maryu, he's on Maverick. Yes, he is getting the... Yes, he's getting the Mute Jammers, however... He's getting Mute Jammers, but he's somehow... well, not somehow, one more time. He's getting the Mute Jammers, but that's not useful for the push they actually switched to. So, for this push right now, he's not using his utility because he can't, so why they have a Maverick, I don't know. And doing the same push 3 times isn't going to work. At least it shouldn't work. Then Yoshingo, well, Buck's job is to play vertically, and he needs to use his grenades to destroy utility and kill people behind half wall. He's not playing vertically, and he's wasting grenades on Electro Claws instead of just going below or having Ramu go below. So, overall, not a good use of utility there. Papilia, I'm not seeing any fires or smokes. He gets gunned down holding the flank. I don't know how. So, he is useless. And Raysil, he opened the wall. Good job, Raysil. Utility usage, Raysil is the only one on Nora Rango right now who's actually using it. Like, this is basically the story of Nora Rango not using their operators correctly and Fnatic just going with the flow.
There to take out another member of Nora Rango, so both teams will lose something in the ensuing fray. The armory wall has been opened up, so Fnatic will now need to stand pat and hold 2 possible angles, as we can see 2 bodies from Nora Rango just looking.
Don't peek this.
Gaping maw of the armory wall. The soft wall inside a small office with Rizraz playing on it. There's only a minute to go. There's not an ample amount.
Why Magnet just ran... Well, I can tell you why Magnet ran out. Magnet ran out because she was worried that... Well, because he was worried that they were about to throw a nade. And he was right. Well, he was right to be worried, but then it's Nora Rango, and that nade wasn't for him. So, I don't know.
Amount of time at the moment. Maryu down as he runs on in, and that's it. The round is over. Okay. I guess no.
So, and then everybody dies because they just try to rush into site because they have no useful utility. They didn't use their utility to force Fnatic to run around and actually get out of position because Buck was upstairs, and everybody's just dying uselessly.
Blow the trumpets and get in as fast as you can, but 50 seconds, that call for urgency ends up being your own demise, and that's the 4th round now for Fnatic through 5.
Alright, so a pretty easy hold out of an armory wall. I loved the fluid adjustment there from Fnatic.
I want to see the kill cam.
Fnatic made was actually an
Here we go.
individual mistake. Not sure if it was called for, but ooh, wow.
Alright, I want to almost say that was server-sided Debris that killed Ramu. However, my next question. Why is Ramu, the IQ, using his gun to play vertically instead of just sending the Buck? I don't know. I really don't. Fnatic right now is probably joking with themselves. Well, they're not joking. They're probably going like, What's going on? Do we need to send these guys to the hospital? It's upstairs and they're just sending IQ to shoot us through the floor. Are they okay? Are they having heat stroke or something? What's going on? I need to know. Like, seriously, you guys okay? Because right now, I'm questioning these picks. I'm not a pro player by any means. I'm trash compared to these guys. But I can say that right now, Nora Rango is not showing that they are pro players. They are showing that Nora Rango looks like a ranked team that managed to get into Pro League. That is what they look like right now. And the thing is, I want to almost say that Yoshingo hasn't played. I want to say that Yoshingo's never played this map because he doesn't seem to know how to go below and buck up. It looks like he just said, yeah, go buck, without actually explaining how buck works. So that seems, I mean, it's harsh, but it's true. So Magnet rotates out, I'm not 100% sure, and if the wall is open, you gotta be holding an angle as you rotate. You just gotta shoot. So that was kind of just a wasted kill, but is what it is. Fnatic still wins. Virtue gets aggressive, gets the kill, and then everybody just dies because they run in. Okay.
He has not died yet, even in the, or well, no.
No, he has died. He died on the one round that Nora won.
Why does it say 10-0?
Does it actually?
It does say 10-0.
Huh.
The scoreboard is 10-0.
Yeah, well, okay.
I was going to say 10-0, and then I was like, wait a minute.
Wait up.
Alright, so ventilation defense. Alright, so one thing to note is reinforcements are going down here, which tells me that Fnatic wants to play inside of the customs because they don't want the enemy to be able to just walk in. That's the one goal. Now, one thing to note, however, there's a window here. The whole thing, if a team really wants to take customs, they can literally just send the buck in here, have buck go in here, or really anyone, open up a rotate hole right here once one of your team members has rotated through here. So basically you send player 1, buck, player 3. Player 1 is waiting, player 3 is here. Buck opens up hole, this player watches that, this person rotates around, kind of holds an angle, and they wait to push at the same time to kill whoever's inside of customs. So if you want to get into customs, this isn't going to save anything. It's probably there more just to kind of dissuade the Nora Rango from pushing. They're kind of saying, we're here.
10-0 and 1. There you go. So 10-0 assists, I guess, is probably what it is.
And I think right now what the casters are saying is that Virtue is 10 and 1 in a Pro League setting. That's huge. That is really huge. And one thing to note, he could, right now, he could probably be maybe 3 and 3 or something if Nora Rango just held the angles they needed to.
Whatever the case be.
Bad caster.
It's okay.
Numbers don't lie.
He's been doing very well.
He's 10-0 and
Worst pistol in the game. God, destroying some of that just sucks. I wish they buffed it.
At the 6 Invitational, that's a pretty good start, I would say. He's allowed to just have complete free roam, and I'll see what he'll be able to do on attack as well. The rest of the team all kind of keeping even pace with each other below him.
So.
That's a misplay. There is no rotate hole between the bomb sites. I'm hoping it's taking a little bit longer for aces to. I'm hoping it's just taking aces a little bit longer to actually get his other rotate hole set up.
Top players out of APAC for a long time, and he's continuing to prove that here today. As we discussed, or as the analysts rather discussed earlier, they.
Okay, so some operator changes. All right, so Ramu switched off of IQ and is now Hibana. Mariyu is now Twitch. Yoshingo is still on Buck. Papilia is still on Capitao, and Raysil is on Thermite. Fnatic, I think they're running the exact same lineup, except they now are bringing a Legion. I think they brought Legion last time they went here, but really nothing out of the ordinary from them. Now, I'm questioning the picks again, because Fnatic's been bringing Cade. So Nora Rango decides when they may have to be able to open up hatches, why are they bringing the Twitch when the Maverick they would have been bringing would have probably been better? And then on the other attack, they brought Maverick for an armory attack, even though Twitch would have been better. So I'm not understanding those changes. I'm really not. Also, they seem to not like using Twitch to destroy the Maestro cams, which would have saved more grenades from Yoshingo last round. Then, round moves on Hibana. I'm not sure about that either. The reasoning is that Double Hard Breacher is nice at times, but this is not a map you really need it. Well, this is not an attack site you need it. Because all you really have to do for this attack, is to just take security, take armory, and all you have to do is open up armory with the thermite charge, and that's really the only hard destruction you truly need. And if they reinforce hatches, then sure, bring Hibana, but other than that, I don't think Fnatic's been reinforcing hatches. They're playing above them, so...
Virtue did kind of prove that same point at the 2019 Invitationals. Now, Mary is going to be taking control of East Stairs. You can see clearly that East Stairs and underneath has been thrown out already, so he's got a lot of confidence pushing in here. Also clear that CCTV is empty, so Nora are going to take both East and CC, and with those two positions, they can, well, kind of work any strategy.
Alright, so it looks like Nora Rango right now is trying to do a pinch onto the onto the players above the bomb site. They are taking control of security and office, which basically puts the defenders on an island where they're going to have to fight their way out of it, because there's nowhere really to run to.
Stairs clear before actually hitting the site, which is ventilation. Interesting reinforcement there. It's clear that Fnatic wanted to play inside of customs, but now it's going to be a lot more difficult if that's open.
The double hard destruction that is not always commonplace on border is a little interesting to see, but I mean, it's working for Nora Rango.
And now it looks like Nora Rango is unsure about how really to attack this, because Hibana just ran from security over to the office area, but nobody's inside of office yet, even though probably 20-30 seconds ago Twitch actually opened up office. So why someone's not droning office saying, okay, it's clear, they open it up, run in, and then actually, well, okay, no, I know why they're not running in. They're not running in because they're scared of Virtue. They're scared that he's just going to pop up again, kill 2 people, and turn to a 3v5. So they're scared of office. But if they're scared of office, why are they pushing it? Very questionable. Alright, so Yoshingo is going up on the roof again, and somebody's actually holding an angle for Virtue. Well, it took them 5 rounds, but they're now holding angles for Virtue. That's good. However, nobody is watching the flank, and because of that, Virtue can now start roaming around. So basically, Nora Rango took control of 75% of the map for the upstairs, and then gave up half of that, and said, okay, we now only want offices, but we don't actually want to put any body in offices, so we have control of the stairs. So a minute and a half in, and they are now pushing the office wall.
As Nora Rango is so deeply focused right now on archives, they don't necessarily know that there's somebody playing inside of monitors. This could be very bad for Nora Rango if Virtue does not get droned out, because now Lust...
Wait, are there 3 people inside of...
focused right now on archives, they don't necessarily know that there's somebody playing inside of monitors. This could be very bad for Nora Rango if...
All that Nora Rango has to do in this situation, all they have to do is hold an angle. One person has to hold an angle to stop Fnatic from just running into security. They literally don't do that and let 3 people run in. And now, with how slow Nora Rango is to drone, they're not going to know this for probably another 10-15 seconds. Then they're going to have to adapt to that. But with all of that going on, they're not going to be able to go for a push because they won't have top floor control in time. They won't be able to apply enough pressure, take bathroom if they want to go for an A push, or take top control of B and actually contest from above, because you have to worry about these 3.
Virtue does not get droned out, because now Lusty as well as Rizraz are up there. This is going to be an interesting play.
Wow, okay, so 2 roamers in CCTV right now for Fnatic.
And now Thermite's over by offices again.
To come up on the balcony looking for that Shingo also near.
Alright, so at least Nora Ringo has said, okay, now the area above the bomb site is clear. Problem is, where the hell did they go?
Set of 5 players right now,
and that was kind of just Rizraz getting caught out. But really, that's all it is. Rizraz got caught out of position there, and there's really no excuse for that. But it was also, I mean, he was getting out, just bad timing more than anything.
Oh, first pick, there you go. Maryu takes down one, and that's on the.
All right, so for the first time, Shingo is. I'm hearing the skeleton key, and that's just fantastic.
Rotation. Riz does not get through the drop down, so Fnatic losing their presence on the top floor in CCTV as well. But Lusty with it.
And then Lusty just walks up the stairs and kills 2. Because nobody wants to hold the flank. And now it's a 3. And then he jumps out and gets another kill. Because I'm pretty sure nobody has... Yes, there was a Valkyrie came out there. I'm pretty sure nobody knows about it.
Beautiful play from Lusty, and he will get shut down, but you can...
Then Ramu shuts Lusty down. Good refrag on him. Very good. Like, that was just overall good game sense. Now it's a 2 versus 3.
You can bet he's done his job.
Absolutely, and there's just Nora Ringo have really struggled to get a good grasp on where Fnatic is, and over the next 30 seconds, they're gonna have to find the remaining 3 bodies, as they do have upstairs control still, but they're gonna.
Right, 20 seconds left. They have no idea where any of Fnatic are. They're in a man disadvantage.
15 seconds left. Rama will hit the deck. He's hot in pursuit of one body. Pulls out the secondary sidearm. Racel takes down Magnet. This is technically winnable, but it's off to Aces and Virtue. Virtue will find one.
All right, 1 versus 2, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bomb has to go down. Well, guess what? You're not gonna have that happen.
Well, there's not gonna be too much to do, but Virtue, hello, there you go.
There we go.
Aces and Virtue will work together to be able to get.
So, that was the story of Nora Rango deciding they want to push through offices and security at the same time, give up security but never enter office halfway through the round, then realize security is now contested, then they need to go and they then kill someone as all the defenders are leaving. Nobody's watching the flank. They get 2 people gunned down. Nobody's checking for Valkyrie cameras. So Legion jumps out a window and gets another kill. So there's 3 people of Nora Ringo dead. Then 1 person gets gunned down because there's 10 seconds left and they have to go help their teammate. Well, if you're sprinting and making a lot of noise, you're gonna get gunned down. They know your position. And then your last guy has to plant. And he dies. Nora Ringo needs to go back to the drawing board and look at their strategy overall. This is not a good match. This is very, very bad and very bad attacks. And it has nothing to do with Fnatic being a better team. It has to do with Nora Ringo simply not showing up today.
It'll be very easy to grab the diffuser as well.
They look lost. And that's all it really is.
Fnatic will emerge with a 5-1.
Now, 1 to 5. This may be... Here, let's... It's 1 to 5 right now. This may be a defensive-sided meta, but it's defensive... It's defender-sided by maybe 5%, like a 55-45 ratio. That's not 1 to 5 ratio.
Now again, the last time these teams met each other, April 14th, 2019, APAC Finals, what allowed them to qualify for, this event.
So Rizraz gets caught off guard because someone made the call, everybody just dropped, come back to site or something, and got caught off.
Match that Fnatic managed to take.
Nobody's watching the flank. Lusty kills 1. Shingo gets gunned down again. Call is made. Lusty jumps out, gets a 3rd.
So, what we're seeing right now is what we've seen before.
That was a call made by Ramu, and Raysil was able to capitalize on it, so good job on him.
That was a really nice try in that round from Nora.
Then Aces gets the kill. But really, that was just the story of Nora Rango is lost on border on attack.
I'm not gonna say
And I don't know if this is they dropped JJ, who two of their original members, I believe it was originally Racil, Papilia Ramu, Waka, and JJ. And they ended up Waka retired, who was the best player on their team, and JJ was another good player on their team. And right now, I'm not sure if maybe the IGL changed, if their strat changed, but they look lost without those two here.
lackluster. I would say the
Now, tactical timeout comes out. God, I love being able to skip.
and try to get as much.
I just
It will trip up your opponents.
All right, so
Like for example,
armory. I should. Is this? No, this is a ventilation workshop defense that will be held upstairs. So kind of the same thing coming out from Nora, where they reinforce these two. Actually, were these reinforced? No, I don't believe that these two were reinforced. It was they put Fnatic put 3 reinforcements on that wall, but not those two. However, then they have these two right here, So this is a heavy sight hold from above. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 reinforcements upstairs. 2 are going downstairs. Most likely, it's going to be the 90-degree wall by bathroom. We can have one here, and then another one underneath it, or maybe one here, one there.
have to bring a thermite.
Really, you don't need a lot of reinforcements to hold below, but you need a lot to hold above.
Those top 4 roamers, it's very useful. But it's not as essential.
Now, once I get a big view, I'll explain the operator selection. So, Nora Rango, they're coming out with the Pulse. I mean, if they're playing below, if they put Pulse below, then they get information. Makes sense. They can play vertically. Makes sense. Okay. Maryu's on Bandits. He put those charges upstairs. He's going with the intention that they're going to, he probably doesn't have the Bandit trick because he probably knows there's no Maverick, and then he also probably there's no Thatcher, so they're probably going to try and like nade out the Bandits or something like that, rather than using an actual operator to get rid of them. And Castle is being brought. Arguable, not really arguable. It depends on the strategy. We'll have to see whether or not he's effective. However, we'll just have to wait and see. Papilia's on Jaeger. I mean, Fnatic is bringing nades. They're going to be bringing stuns as well, so you need a Jaeger. And then a mute to mute some walls, stop some drones. Makes sense. Then Fnatic, they're a heavy utility setup going on right now. They have the Thermite. I mean, it's a Thermite, it's border. I assume that you can kind of draw some connections with that. Then Rizraz is on the IQ. If you can play vertically with that, you can do a lot of damage. You also can counter the Pulse, so good pick. Virtue is on the Zofia. Makes sense. I mean, Zofia is kind of a more fragging-oriented operator, even though she brings a large amount of utility. But it makes sense that it makes sense to pick. Lusty is on Capital. Okay, Capital's a great operator. Good pick. And Magnet's on Buck. It's border. Buck makes sense.
You know, a little bit of a maybe helpful thing there for Nora. Maybe I'm grasping at straws, guys.
it is frustrating that these two teams, these Titans that have faced each other, often represent a great region that has grown so much in our community.
So you've been talking about the two teams going up against each other. The thing is that... Oh, one moment. Roommate walked in and had to talk with him. I can't even remember what I was talking about, but okay, let's see what happens.
As lopsided as it has, I mean, the thing is,
So,
a lot of people entered into this series
20 seconds in, they know that they know that security is clear. I'm going to assume, and right now, based on the lineup, they're going for a security push and an armory wall push.
In the UK prior to this event, and the fact that Waka was taken off of Nora, this is a great first step for Fnatic, who as a team tend to get very emotional. They are a team that tend to ride the highs and crash at the lows, as we've seen before, and a big momentum booster.
40 seconds in, and they've taken security control, and they are now going to start on the execution for armory.
Could be, which would propel them to play the winner of Team Empire versus Dark Zero, which we have up next, which neither of those teams is going to be a walk in the park for either Nora or Fnatic. This could be a massive confidence booster for a team that, such as Fnatic, absolutely needs it. A team like Nora,
so Grenade came out to stop any bandit tricking, and the wall gets opened. So minute 10 in, army wall has been opened. Much more methodical than what Nora was doing. Fnatic looks like they know what they want to do.
Next two matches, they were still riding high. They were still affable. They still seemed happy no matter what.
Yeah, that's definitely I think a trait that Nora has, and we'll have to see if.
Now they know Pulse is playing below, so they are now moving into position to get him out of there. Ramu says, okay. Ramu gets droned out, runs away. Makes sense. Good job from him.
We're going into this attack, and I say that in that we've been in this attack for a long time, and Fnatic haven't really done very much with it. They're trying to clear out the top floor, but look at that, almost 2 whole.
So drones coming out.
In that effort, I love and applaud the caution from Fnatic, but are they going to have enough time to actually hit the site? More importantly, I mean, we've got potentially 3, certainly 2, I'm sure. C4s on.
Alright, so Fnatic stalled out a little bit. However, they can see that upstairs is clear, so they have now taken control of above the bomb sites.
Wow, what a shot there. And that's going to be an early.
Was that from the... Yes, that was from the bandit. Nice shot from Mariu. Problem is, 2 refrags come out.
Kill there for Mariu. 2 refrags, though, from Fnatic, so...
Why there are 2 people holding inside of customs when top control is being held by Fnatic, I don't know.
Man advantage not being taken away there from the Oz.
Why there's a 3rd, I don't know, and why there's a 4th close behind, I also don't know.
Racel will likely join them at some point, as he was still upstairs playing inside of Archives. It's going to be a well-coordinated push that will likely come out from Fnatic, but Nora has everything in their disposal.
So drones are coming out. Now Fnatic has stalled out. They don't know where the enemies are. They don't know, because they just got hit by 4 people off site, so they don't know what's going on.
28 seconds of this round, and could be a major step in the right direction for Nora on a site that Fnatic might not have fully prepared for. Because of the castle barricades being the way they are, Fnatic is going to have to filter on in through a setup that was created by Nora, and they need some urgency. It's going to get blown out, and there.
That was not the play, Mariu. That was not the play. I don't know what he was thinking, but that was not it.
You go, Mario goes down as Virtue catches Mario trying to rotate, but it's 8 seconds. Where's the diffuser in the hands of the Capitão? No, it's an Aces who's going for the plant. It's a double up.
So nobody drones out the site. They don't think Racel's gonna be playing here, and he just goes off. So basically, that entire push was a methodical push by Fnatic, but they got stalled out for too long. They weren't sure how to deal with the people playing in customs, and at the very end, they had to just rush in without droning. Nobody checked the angle for Racel. He made a play, and that's it. That's what saved that round. If someone had checked that angle, they could have killed him, and Fnatic probably would have won.
Huge boost for their confidence to shut Fnatic down and take a round that they desperately needed to win.
Beautiful job there from Nora. A round they certainly should not have won, and they managed to take it anyway. Some pretty key mistakes made there by Fnatic. They split themselves up a little bit too much towards the end. We saw, for example,
oh, this is just, yeah, it's just a nice shot.
Push into workshop while the rest of his
Papilio then got over aggressive and went for a fight. Magnet won it. Someone else went, got killed out by Virtue. Not sure exactly where. I mean, 5 seconds left. You can't drone. He just pushed, checked angles, wasn't expecting Ramu there. Ramu got the kill.
Takes down Virtue. It seemed like Fnatic had full control, but just some great play there individually from Nora to take that. Now,
But really, that was just a story of one person made a play and Fnatic didn't check a corner.
Common, like I said, to see teams go there. It is a bit of a risk.
So, operator changes. It looks like there was a drop from the Pulse onto the Maestro. This was a good call because they probably said, okay, rank IQ, we won't be able to run Pulse very effectively. So let's just say screw it and switch over to Maestro. Then Fnatic has no change, which if it works, it works.
Grand scheme of things, because if they lose that, it ends up being a 6-1 scoreline for Fnatic, who find themselves on match point off of a gamble that was being brought out from
Ooh, and it looks like Norango is also bringing the Valkyrie instead of someone I can't remember who.
But it keeps them in this game for the time being. There is still a monumental task ahead of Norango, which is close this gap up. There are 3 rounds that you will need to win.
That second Valkyrie cam is absolutely useless.
You can do one
I want to.
armory, which is where they are going
This seems going to be seen very easily.
After that, you're going to have to go to bathroom tellers.
This thing should not exist for long.
You have to go to one of the sites where it's unlikely that the defense will win. It happens. Fnatic was able to manage it, but maybe not Norango, depending on how they play out. So that was a pretty big gamble that Norango pulled off, but it worked. It worked quite effectively, and it was a large part because of Castle.
Okay, so Rizraz gets dropped because he's not paying attention to the run out, and Yoshinga capitalizes with just an aggressive play from the Valkyrie. That's the whole purpose of why he picked Valkyrie. And it worked now, but I don't expect it to work again.
It was a very pivotal operator, and it was Yoshingo playing on Castle then. He's going to be just as pivotal in this round as he's going to be playing the Valkyrie, and he catches one.
That is a nice shot. That is just a nice shot by Aces. However, Ramu, I understand that maybe he's trying to play aggressively, maybe he's trying to go for a frag, but you're down 2-5. You have man advantage. Don't play over aggressive. Don't try and expose yourself unnecessarily. That was unnecessary, and Aces just hit a nice shot. Papilia then kills Virtue, and I'm not sure from where.
What a shot that was, and it takes out an incredibly important operator in the position of Bunker, as well as that is the Maestro off the board.
We were talking about the aggression from Fnatic on defense, and now look at this. It's the same thing, even.
So I see Buck is over by Office. Virtue was over by Office as well. Why they're over there, I'm not certain. Because Buck's job is to play vertically, and why they didn't just take security, I don't understand either.
More so for Norango, as they are on defense, just playing off their Valkyrie camps, going for aggressive plays. Here comes the C4 and the run out, and it's going to be a frag for Aces. Great job there for Fnatic, managing to shut that.
That was somewhat well done by Norango, where they decided to throw 2 bodies at the same time. Problem is, Yoshingo decided not to run. And because of that, there is now Fnatic has now equalized.
Yoshingo still, though, inside a CC.
And it looked like that was a great bit of.
Are we really halfway? Oh my god, we're halfway done.
Yoshingo thought better of it because immediately.
Oh my god. How long have I spent? Okay. Well, yeah, I can keep going.
Aces also finds himself in a position where he's very low on HP, and every single bullet from every single one of the guns from Norango will take him out of action.
We've got 2 of the 3. Oh no, a run out there from Raysil, and he's going to take.
So Raysil does a run out. Aces isn't paying attention. This is kind of why you have everybody push at the same time, if from the same area, because if Lusty, with Magnet on the Buck was just pulling an angle on the main door. 2 free kills from Norango, and they probably win this round.
I was about to say, we've got 2 of the 3 defenders.
Lusty has no clue at all where this Valkyrie is, and Yoshingo just
CCTV,
wins.
And another one of them's gonna get a kill on
Why Magnet's over here? I don't understand. Your job is to play vertically. You're not going to play vertically here.
Magnet. This is a stacked defense from Nora. They found their targets and they ran to them. And now that Magnet's position is given away, the mark's coming out here, and it's going to be futile for Magnet to try.
And it's over. But really all that was over-aggression from Norango. And Fnatic, instead of them being methodical and using the operators to the best of their ability, because Buck was not being used to the best of his ability. They got dropped. They weren't ready for over-aggression, and due to that, they lost. And that's the story of that round.
We'll take this round.
Nothing really special.
Flank them, you know, their old, be they claymores and so on.
Let's see.
We also saw Fnatic doing the same.
Right, so just this is a common run out. You should be expecting this run out.
These are big chances that Nora Rengo are taking, even though they find themselves having to dig them, you know, their whole team out of this hole.
Thing is that the IQ knew was it IQ? No, that was Zofia, really? They don't look like Zofia.
Them, you know, their whole team.
Yeah, could have been a Zofia, so. I play 4-3, so I'm used to seeing a different picture than what they're actually showing now. But, so Virtue knew the positioning of Papilia. So that was just a luck from Papilia that Virtue missed his shots and he hit his.
They're still playing a very aggressive game, and it can very easily get under the skin of your opponents. It can very easily get under the skin.
Yoshino just hits a shot on Lusty because nobody is pressuring from this doorway. As they can't, it's a 2 versus 3 right now.
Of Fnatic here, who appear to have taken
Mary then changes head level and goes into a position where Buck is not going to be expecting him and gets the kill. Good play from Mariu.
What to do, and this is the time that you want to take it if you're Fnatic. Nora Rengo took it as the sides were switching because you're not really going to take a timeout for 1 or 2 final rounds. Nora Rengo took a bit of a breather and retooled for a defense that so far is a perfect distance. And
now, tactical timeout comes out from Fnatic.
they're still going to approach this. Well, if you look at their
And Orengo is now at a 3-5 situation. And with that, I will be back in a minute. Or I'm back. So if you can hear me chewing, I just grabbed some M&Ms because I was thinking I'd be done by now with this, and I am nowhere near done. And I'm getting hungry, so I need to just munch on some food, munch on some candy, just to kind of keep me satiated for a little while. Anyway, Customs Defense now coming out from Nora Rengo. If you win the 2 main sites on border, the other 2 both kind of suck. I mean, it is what it is. I hate both defending and attacking the other 2 sites, but it is what it is. And there's no real... You can't really say one's better than the other. It's just up to team preference. But now, changes from Nora Rengo. They're bringing out the Pulse now. Once again, I question that because there is an IQ. Then Mariu is on Bandit. Makes sense. Yoshin goes on Mute. Makes sense, sure. Maybe you want... I expect that they're saying, okay, we're not going to be able to just do dumb aggressive stuff anymore. So drop Valk, bring us Pulse, because we're going to be droning a bunch. We can stop that. We can do better. So they do that. Papilio's on Jaeger again, and Raysol's now on Smoke. You have to be able to smoke the, I think it's the A bomb site here, the one which is kind of its own room, because if you don't, the enemy can really just jump in. And peeking that window sucks.
They're going to forego the Valkyrie. There's likely not going to be a lot of run-out potential. They're what? You think they're going to hunker down over top of customs and then keep a couple bodies in sight?
Reinforcement lets you play safe from the stairs. It's needed if you want to actually play here.
What's your thoughts?
I mean, right now it certainly looks like it's going to be a second floor stack. You see Mario's going to be putting up a barricade towards the front door, some barbed wire heavily stacked in that main hallway downstairs, and what that signifies is Nora consider that a weak spot. They're going to try and just shore it up with what they have available. They're also opening up a lot of holes from above, which means they are going to be defending, you guessed it, from above, so that they can deny the plant inside of A, inside of B.
Rami was not going for a spawn kill there. He was going to shoot any drone that was left outside of security.
Drop downs using holes pre-made. Eventually, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, no changes from Fnatic on their lineup.
CCTV as a rotation, but it's possible that they'll just try and do a retake strategy on the heavy roam. So we've got some roamers far field by Armory, by Fountain, on the side of Nora, and those players are going to be in positions to later retake into CCTV if necessary. So Nora's playing, it looks like a very fluid style here, and that's really what we've been seeing from them on defense outright so far in this second half.
Why Buck was just given the diffuser, I don't understand. Buck, at the end of the day, can be used for every role, which means he might be an entry fragger. And he may have to go in. So why not just drop it outside of the wall and just keep it safe there while everybody else goes does their own thing. Like, see, now it's dropped upstairs, but bomb site's not upstairs, so I don't understand that.
Fall back and set up for a retake. That seems to be the mentality for Nora, but it's too early to call that. Maybe they've shifted away from what they've been doing earlier in the match.
Norengo's also got some dual kill holes / windows down into the site inside of monitors, so they can possibly look at these default plant spots. That's likely going to be the play here. Fnatic does discover that the Pulse of Ramu is playing inside of Armory, and Fnatic opts to fall off instead of engaging.
Magnet looks like he's unsure about exactly how he wants to deal with this.
Now to greet Magnet, as you can hear the UMP shooting through that floor, and Magnet knows that Ramu is wise to his tricks, and once again it will be another rotate for Fnatic. They don't seem to know exactly how to.
So right now, Norengo seems to just be running around, and Fnatic isn't sure about how to deal with them.
In fact, nobody from Fnatic seems to have figured out that there were two bodies as well of Norengo playing inside the monitors, and that was both Yoshingo as well as Papilia. So this top floor control, as we speculate, is very important. And the moment that monitors decides to go in favor of Fnatic, should it, this can go very hairy for Norengo.
Yoshingo should not be there. He should not be exposing himself to such a degree to a Capital Firebolt that he has to run out into a doorway, expecting nobody to be holding the angle. That was a bad play from him.
A name who we haven't really mentioned much today, and Fnatic will take the early lead, but there's a minute to go. And
Ramu then equalizes though, so good on him. And then from below, Raysol gets another kill, which is an oversight from Fnatic. They should know that somebody's playing below, and they should especially know that person is has a shotgun.
He loves this supply room. He does so well in it.
I think that was the window. I think literally Fnatic should have jumped in through the window without droning it, and they were unsure about what exactly they were jumping into. And with this window not being open, that means that it's free reign for Ray, so he can do whatever he wants. Papilio then slaps Rizraz. Yeah. Right now, Fnatic is just lost in this round. They don't know how to attack this. That's all I'm saying here. They look completely lost, and they're not sure about how to attack it. So, this round doesn't even need it to be seen.
Hopefully, I would imagine that there will be some small changes from Norengo as to how they guard over towards the bathroom side of things, which is where those castle barricades were located last time. You know that you can't just really jump into ventilation the same way.
Defense from ventilation. And let's see. Can't tell if the hatches are reinforced. No, I'm not sure. But same reinforcements coming out from. Basically, it's the same reinforcements from their last time of ventilation, where they just ran out all the time, and Yoshino got, I think, 2 or 3 kills.
Most of these rounds, if not all, so far in the second half, they seem to get shut down by Nora, who are just so ready for it. Not just in holding firm in CC, but also below CC. Or to the side of CC. Anywhere. Anyhow, Nora are prepared for that take, so time to experiment if you're Fnatic. Time to bring something that could potentially change the outcome of these rounds, as Fnatic have yet to win an attacking round. Looks like it's going to be another anchor inside a CCTV, or heavy roam if you want to call it that. Ramu is going to run away using one of his impacts, so there are no more roamers inside of CC. He did eat a lot of damage. Might have been, I believe, no, it wasn't from a grenade, so it must have been his own impact that did that damage. Hate to see it, but it does happen.
It's a blow too, because if you lose the Legion early on, a minute on in, you don't have a lot.
So it looks like, I want to say Fnatic is going for a security armory push again. However, one thing I note is, why is Magnet over here? Why is that the buck? Why not send the Zofia? Why not send the IQ? Why is the buck here? I'm confused by that.
At this point, it's a very integral gadget through the final minute of a round, not just for sound detection, but also for anti-plant. There are an awful lot of things that Legion can accomplish just simply by existing until the final moments of any given round. So, you mentioned that Fnatic needs to work on the way that they take this monitors and security hold, and where they go from here. Well, they've got Rizraz in there for the time being. It looks
2 nades go down, wall gets open.
off on the wall, and you've got
Minute and a half in, security has been taken and army wall has been opened. Then Magnet just runs back over to the other side, where he said, I'm doing nothing over here, I'm going to move back to the other side now. Virtue for some reason replaces him, and then he opens up the customs wall and is now going for a customs push. And now drones are coming out and Leslie's just waiting.
For the defense, and we'll see if it actually manages to influence this round. He is just waiting patiently down below. Fnatic look to want to try and clear out under the sites before they go for the push. They still have all of their utility on the Capital. They're still ready for a straight up execute. But look at the man count. It's still a 5 versus 5. Correction, it looks
Yoshingo
like
kills Aces.
so things are changing rapidly on the face of this attack.
And Fnatic has stalled out because they're not sure about how to actually take this site. I mean, not take above the site. They're not sure. And one thing to note is that depending on the hold, they may not have to take the site. They may not have to take above the site. They just have to make sure the enemy can't contest above the site. So I want to see what the overall defensive setup below is, but
in their favor. They're so spread out, though. What is the attack strategy is the question in my mind right now.
yeah, it looks like Fnatic is lost on the attack strat. Virtue is outside of office, Rizraz is in customs, Lusty is outside of armory wall, Aces is dead, and Magnet is outside of the main door, coming up to help the armory wall. Lusty then tries to walk in, gets gunned down, and also 5v1. Basically, I'm thinking that Fnatic doesn't know how to actually attack on border either. It looks like neither of these teams knows how to attack border. It looks like they spent all day just going over defense and then said, yeah, what are we supposed to do on border? What are we supposed to do on attack? Let's just run some Lion. And they forgot that Lion isn't allowed in Pro League, so I don't know.
The flank, and it's just Rizraz, who's trying to hunt down roamers. What is going on with this Fnatic attack? It is extremely messy.
He's only got 10 seconds left, and he's basically a dead man down below, and there goes Ramu.
And it's over.
You look at trend line.
Alright, let's go to the replay.
Maps don't really tend to be that close. The team that takes it over the lead will snowball from there, and then with it goes the series.
I just pulled out an M&M and I somehow threw it and I don't know where it went, and I'm sad, but okay.
We could see
Anyway,
trend line snap.
Aces just loses a gunfight here to Yoshingo. Gets gunned.
To be the case.
Well, I mean, on the note of snap,
Then, because of the soft wall, because the soft wall, Fnatic doesn't know how to deal with it, and because nobody's playing the window, Papilia just walks up and guns down 2 people.
if you look these teams met each other.
Maryu then gets a kill on Virtue because, I hate to break it to you, crouch walking in and trying to open up a door and rush in doesn't work.
Bang. It was an 8-6 in favor of Nora. A very close match. Super exciting. If you haven't seen it, you certainly should. Assuming you don't care about the spoilers just now. The next map was a 7-1 in favor of Nora. I mean, it's a completely one-sided. Very, very much these two teams.
But really, this just looks like, I mean, it's now 5-5. Nora Rango was down 1-5, and they have brought it back 4 rounds in a row. So well done to them. Really, this just looks like Nora Rango is just running around, and Fnatic doesn't know what to do. They don't know how to play methodically enough to actually take map control when they don't have control of when the enemy doesn't come to them. I think they're expecting Nora to just run away, and they're not. Now change. Ramu is now bringing the instead of the castle being brought, it is the two changes. Instead of castle, we now have a vigil, and now instead of someone else, we have a Valkyrie. I can't remember exactly who. Joys of doing this for like 2 or 3 hours straight. Your guys, gonna be a long video, but changes from them, but no changes from Fnatic. There's a team called Empire. They have one lineup for each map, and they stick to that lineup almost no matter what, because that's the lineup that works for them, and they use it so well that they win. If you're winning, you don't need to change a lineup. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. If you're losing, then you should be changing your lineup, because right now proper utility usage isn't really being used on the side of Fnatic, and that's why they're losing. They look lost on their roles. And it's just I want to see what defense this is, because this might be a bathroom defense, but I'm not sure. No, it's an upstairs. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I don't understand this reinforcement. This reinforcement looks like Nora wants to just play on top of the hatch. Even though I don't think I've ever seen anyone try and like buck this open to have someone drop down for a kill. So I'm confused by that reinforcement.
The biggest issue that Fnatic seems to have, which is the issue that Nora Rango had, was information gathering. And if you look at the fact that Mute has been a staple...
Oh, one thing to note is, this will probably be quicker in all honesty. The armory wall has one reinforcement on it. Right here, if we look, this side is reinforced, this is not. This just provides such a long angle down the hallway outside that it makes it a nightmare to actually attack. Problem is, if it's soft, then Virtue right now should just say, okay, it's soft, I'm gonna send one of my charges, it's open, well, 30 seconds in, and now we have armory wall control.
It doesn't look like Fnatic is aware of where Nora Rango is positioned. Now, obviously, drones are your biggest asset to be able to figure out where they are, and Mute jammers just shut them down in their tracks. And that appears to be the issue for the time being with Fnatic. They are not able to get the intel that they want. They don't have the EMPs on the Thatcher.
Alright, so Yoshingo looking to be aggressive again. Fnatic looking to, I think they're looking for another, another security push. Rizraz now finds 2 cameras, big difference from last round.
As Yoshingo now will only have 1 black eye cam that will be gathering information as to where Fnatic are going to be pushing.
Well, surprise, surprise, Fnatic are going to be pushing into CCTV. We've seen that before. Now, it's going to be Pilot sitting by the shelves, and nade goes in, but
good nade. That is a good nade from Magnet. That is proper utility usage. 48 seconds in, Fnatic are now up a man advantage, and Magnet may have taken 40 HP of damage, but he got a kill. Kills mean more than damage.
That is a good start from Fnatic. One of the few good starts they've had on attack.
Yeah, you lose the utility from the Valkyrie, you lose the Nitro Cell as well. You lost 2 of those.
Well, no. If you want to contest anything on CCTV, use this window and rappel upside down on the wall right here. It gives you such an advantage when it comes to actually fighting. I hate rappelling. I hate rappelling there for runouts. However, if you have a team and you just say, hey, can you hold this angle? Hold the like main door, and then if they try and run out of these of customs, just refrag me, then you can do a lot. You can do a lot with that. And I understand why Fnatic isn't doing that. They're afraid of runouts from Nora because Nora did get it very aggressive.
As well, so Fnatic's push inside monitors going quite a...
Wait, how is there? How am I at the 54-minute? Trying to figure out the time frame of this, but kind of, yeah, I'm just being a moron. Trying to figure out where that was from. So, I want to watch this again. Virtual kills Papilia. I'm not sure where Papilia was. I'm assuming. Actually, I don't know. I almost want to say that Papilia was caught just crossing instead of the A bomb site. I'm not sure. But Ramu then gets a kill. Mary. I need to just see what's going on. Okay. So if you do the same thing 3 or 4 rounds in a row like Yoshingo is on playing inside of security, it's not gonna work, and that's kind of why you got naded there.
Nora aren't completely out of this yet, but it's going to get worse.
And Magnet kills Ramu. I have to just see the kill cams for all of these. I'm not sure what the hell is going on, honestly.
Rachel's playing over by offices, so that leaves just Mariu as the sole anchor here to defend this Arsenal tank.
But I mean, it's a 2v4 and you don't have a hard breach on Fnatic. That could be very easy for the defense of Nora Rengo to hold on, depending on where Fnatic decides to push on in from. Suspecting that there's a body playing by Bunker, which is Mariu, there's going to be an asphyxiating bolt that goes down, but Mariu is peeled off. He's going to decide to take the fight, though, with Magnet. He's going to lose a lot of HP. Rizraz just jumps right on in, looking for 2. Oh, he gets 1, pulls out the pistol, looking for the other. There you have it. Takes matters into his own hands.
Right. So what that round was basically Nora Rengo said, let's do the same thing we did the last time. And let's just do our usual running around where we can kind of we just run around kind of almost like monkeys without too much of a strategy, but we just keep on forcing Fnatic, keeping on them on their toes. Now, Fnatic for the first few rounds was playing into that. They were chasing. This round, they waited. They did their job. They held their angles. They then pushed how they needed to, used their utility correctly, and got early picks, and then just picked off the enemy because they were so spread out and playing by themselves rather than playing as a team.
Haven't heard a lot from them that round. Very important stretch to put Fnatic on match point on map number 1 and finally stop this landslide that Nora Rengo was in the process of riding all the way to the finals for this map.
Well, I mean, it certainly has seemed like the defenders' play place here on borders.
Alright, so why is it showing me the kills when 3 people are already dead? I want to see how Thermite died.
So far today, and a lot of that
Ooh. This is kind of the aggression I'm talking about when it comes to Nora Rengo. Why would you peek in a man disadvantage on a long angle held by an ACOG?
sure does come down to the fact that we got a Thatcher Nomad. I mean, those 2 operators both.
Ramu just slapped him, that's all it is.
Well, I mean, on the side of the Thatcher, it means you can, as you said, you can get aggressive and direct. Just happen to be in the right place at the right time.
Alright, so let's see. Armory defense again. Makes sense. They have the choice of either Armory. Basically, they have the choice between Armory, bathrooms, or customs. And Armory is the better of those 2 by far. Problem is, it looks like Nora's going for the same setup. I really hope to God they're not, because it is a match point now. And that is a problem if you are using the exact same setup that you just got slapped on. So, I want to say same operators coming out from Nora Rengo. I can't remember exactly if the mute is the same operator, but I'm just going to assume it is. And then Fnatic drops the Thermite for a Hibana. My best guess is that Aces says he doesn't want to get as close to the wall anymore, and he wants to keep some distance, which makes sense, which is why they brought him,
On paper, a
which was why he
stronger
switched.
team for Nora Rengo, but how they've been able to play and adjust is the real question. And so far, I gotta say, when they picked up momentum, Nora Rengo did look like a much better team, but both of these teams beat themselves on attack. Nora Rengo was beating themselves with their hesitation, their inability to collect information, and just losing straight-up gunfights to people that they weren't expecting, and Fnatic just could not simply overpower the defenders of Nora Rengo, even when they knew where they were, which wasn't all that common.
Looks like Fnatic going for another CC take, and it's going to be...
No security take, which makes sense.
Here, again, in CCTV, trying to hold up this Fnatic take. Yoshingo going to go for a run out, and he might get a kill or two here. He'll get Virtue. That's a good one, but Magnet with the reap.
Alright, so that's kind of the aggression from Yoshingo, from Norengo, where they're basically relying on aggression. And it's also kind of an oversight from Fnatic that they allow someone to do a run out.
So it's not over yet. A double run.
Okay, so this really just got aggressive.
From Nora, and it's complete exchange here in the man count. Fnatic managed to take 2.
So 4 people are dead at the minute mark because there was a double run out.
For 2.
And I mean, that's, as a team, sure, that may seem like good timing, but that doesn't show me that Norengo will win this, because if you're a team that relies on just aggressive plays to win, if you go up against a team that can counter those aggressive plays and just hold angles and are prepared for it, you will lose. It's kind of why Fnatic, I want to say at Rio, one of the invitationals, they played dumb aggressive against Evil Geniuses and beat them 2-0. And then they went up against G2. And one thing is, Evil Geniuses does bad against random aggression. They were a very methodical, they're a very heavy counter strat team. They're an intelligent team. So if you take their intelligence and you just say, we're going to play with 2 brain cells and just jump out of everywhere with shotguns, then they're not going to be ready for that. They're going to be wondering, why the hell did they just do that? And I mean, it worked. But then they went up against G2, who, I mean, they know they are the best team in the world. And they literally, they just shut down Fnatic and all their runouts, all their plays. They said, okay, yeah, you can keep on doing that. We're gonna hit you for 2 maps, 14-0. I think it was 14-0 if I remember correctly.
Well, time. And the operators that were exchanged definitely favor Nora.
So Hibana, that's kind of the upside down window angle I was talking about.
Whereas all of Nora's utility that could have been lost is a pre-placed sort of utility. The ADSs and the Valkyrie games.
Absolutely. Fnatic lost that trade quite handedly. You lose your only set of frag grenades, which were in the Buck. You lost your soft destructive capabilities in both the Zofia and the Buck. So there's an awful lot of things that Fnatic might need to change up with the remainder of this round, because 2 incredible operators have been taken out of action.
And look at this now. Nora have brought all of their manpower back to site. They've said, all right, you know what? We've done our damage. We've done what we set out to do, and we're going to bring everyone back in just to play.
Fnatic now looks kind of lost. They look scared of the runouts, which makes sense. I mean, they just lost 2 bodies to them, and they're not sure exactly how to push now.
And, well, they certainly are.
I believe they're sitting in a very wonderful triangle, a nice obtuse angle between them. If I do understand my angles.
It does seem that way, yes.
It does seem that way. And because of Ramuh's vigil ability, the suspicion for me is that he will be below. I would gather that Fnatic will likely think the vigil is playing underneath and instead not nestled into the site. But that's exactly where he is. And Fnatic will now need to struggle over 30 seconds. That will separate them from a possible second map, lest we go to overtime and see exactly...
30 seconds, Fnatic has stalled out now. They're not sure exactly how to attack. One thing is, don't hit open barricades. Shoot them open. Just shoot them. It becomes significantly less dangerous if you do that.
This will be heralded by a slap on the wooden barricade. Asphyxiating bolts for Lusty will go out too, and now he's going to try and shroud out any possible view.
I think this might be one of the most effective Capital uses I've seen. There should have been a flank drone, and Asus should... No, Rizraz should not have lost that fight. This was winnable from Fnatic if Rizraz had just won the fight there.
Lusty is completely vulnerable. He won't win it. Mariu, 3 huge kills. Nora.
And now Mariu comes in with a flank. Nobody on Fnatic was watching it, and Nora Rango wins.
6-6.
All right, let's see this.
A last kill there at the end onto Raysil, actually. So he technically got 5 kills in that round. Great job there to Mariu. Huge round overall, individually, and you got to hand it to him with the performance that was needed to keep his team in this match. So, 6-6, as you said, OT.
This is one reason I don't like APAC as a region. They seem just to love dumb aggressive plays, and it really just makes me not want to root for them when they just rely on runouts rather than overall strategy.
This is a pretty, defense on OT. We'll
No.
see. Huge advantage.
Let's see, overtime.
Defense was on Armory. Exactly.
Please tell me I didn't just say, okay, no, they're going ventilation workshop. Which makes sense because you don't want to go to the same site 3 times in a row. Because Fnatic, I mean, Nora Rango made the call. Yeah, we won, but we kind of relied on a bunch of runouts to do it. So yeah, let's go somewhere else. However, it's roughly the same setup, except now I bring a Legion instead of Vigil. Which, I mean, makes some sense. And oh my god, Yoshingo, please do not use a Nitro Cell on this. You have Race still. Call him down and have him make a rotate hold. Do not use this Nitro Cell here. Please don't. Please. And Fnatic changes nothing.
Interesting to see when Fnatic
No.
goes to their
Oh,
defense, they will
well,
get at minimum
thank God.
number 1
Ah, thank you. Thank you, Yoshingo.
That might be all that there is in this matchup. It could end up being an 8-6 for Nora Rango if everything goes Fnatic's a bit blind and essentially having to just fly into rooms, not expecting somebody to be there. The unconventional style that we see out of Nora Rango and how they defend as aggressively as they do, it's really been able to beat Fnatic to the punch on so many different entries.
Playing with fire there. Yoshingo.
That camera is useless.
Trying to just
The camera lasted all of about 5 seconds. That was a useless cam.
potentially get a kill.
There was no point in throwing that.
A little bit later.
That was just wasted.
Too easy for Virtue to detect. Now, Fnatic have to clear out the top floor before they start hitting the site. They know this, and that's their primary focus at this moment in time. Virtue's going to choose to try and clear out open area. Looks like they're going to shift their focuses actually down to maybe a bathroom take based on what we're seeing right now. Mariu getting aggressive, just trying to take those gunfights that he has been winning outright so far throughout this match. Well, he might actually get a kill onto Virtue if Virtue doesn't play this correctly, but seems like he's seen the tracers and is aware of the angle.
Yeah, they went sailing right by him and wondering, oh, well, wonder what happened to that door there. Well, it was shot out. You now know that there's at least one body playing inside of Archives in case you hadn't drone that out, and it's possibly an easy task for Fnatic to keep somebody watching and make sure.
I'm curious about this attack strategy because it looks like Fnatic is just really spread out, and it looks. I'm confused. I'm very confused as to what they're going for. I don't understand why they're not just going for another security push because I mean it works. So actually, they're probably scared of another run out thing, another just dual run out, so they don't want that to happen. So they're kind of playing a bit more cautiously, a bit more scared though. There's one thing to note is 90 seconds has gone by and nothing has been accomplished by Fnatic.
Direction. Wow. He'll come back and Magnet will completely.
Ooh, the timing.
Ramu might go for the run out now. Oh, just inconsequential timing for both of them.
Bad timing. That's all that was.
Easy first kill for Fnatic as we've had a bit of a slow start here. 1 minute left to go in the round and everybody is still upright.
Yeah, Fnatic seem to want to clear into Armory, but they are making a mess of it right this second. You can see that it's just, well, pre-fire after pre-fire, lifeline, but no utility landing for the defense, or the attack, but will for the defense. Yoshingo, a C4 from below. Virtue will take out Mariu on the clear.
So it looks like Fnatic kind of went, okay, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? I'm not sure. And at that point, they then decided to, they didn't decide for another security push. They then decided to just bully their way in through Armory and to get a kill, then lose Lusty. But I mean,
feels like
The main thing they need is
plays
top floor
trying to
control. They don't really need the
finally
Capital
gonna
for this push.
against him. With the C4 from below, snuffs out the Capital. That is huge. Virtue gets his second kill though, not to Papilla. So there you go. Fnatic keep the man advantage. They also now have control of top floor, which is huge. They're clearly angling for a ventilation take, and with the control that Fnatic has, it's possible.
Yoshingo hits a nice shot
his
there.
Second kill to answer back onto Virtue's 2 kills. This is a great performance here from the newest player on Nora so far in this round, but there's only 13 seconds left. Fnatic have to go for an attack straight into the site, and Rizraz missing some important shots.
Rizraz right there was just, there was one on the right, there's one on the left, and he then falls down, so his aim just goes off, and he looked like he was kind of in a position where he was uncomfortable playing that close. However, Virtue and Aces just refrag. Actually, yeah, and then Virtue finishes up. So
a beautiful round from the Zofia of Virtue, and Fnatic take the first round of overtime as well as the third round total on attack.
Virtue is that correct? I would like to see the scoreboard if possible, because if this is the case,
17
and 6.
Wow.
That is outstanding. I was going to say, the numbers that we have up there, he was within, heading into that round, he was far off. But now with this round,
okay,
there is a possibility that he could have...
That was just a nice shot by Virtue.
Ended up breaking the record for most kills in one game. It's currently held by Rampy at 22, but that's not going to be the case. He will need to find an ace in this round, or we will need to go to round number 15 for Virtue to break it. But what a performance from him it has been. 17.
So really, Fnatic, that was just kind of they bullied their way into sight and won the gunfights.
On his back, which is exactly what Nora did. Fnatic was perfect on this site.
Right, so now Fnatic is now on defense. They decide that they want to go to the ventilation workshop downstairs.
Final round of Fnatic's defense. Fnatic were able to not just kill every single member of...
Oh, and here we go. So, now we have to have some changes to the attacking, defending. So, Nora, they are bringing IQ, which they've never really used effectively. The Maverick, which, I mean, you can run it now because in case they run Cade, well, not in case they run Cade, but basically there isn't a Cade, so Maverick is a good choice. Yoshingo's on Buck. I don't think he's a Buck player, but because I don't think he did much, if anything, really on attack. Now on defense, he had a few good rounds, but on attack, I don't think he was too useful. Then Papilia's on Capital. I don't think I've ever really seen him use Capital effectively. And then Rachel's on Thermite. Then Fnatic bring up the Maestro, the Mute, the Jaeger, the Legion, and the Valkyrie.
Stop that diffuser from going off.
So yeah, just to be really super duper clear.
Reinforcements coming down in order to here in order to stop a push from the in order to give customs a little bit more support.
Right now, Virtue sitting at 17.
Hatch above customs.
Yeah, he could potentially get close to that record. It would be quite interesting if it were to happen. Now, Fnatic going to the ventilation defense first. I like to see this. I think it's probably the right call. Vent seems to be the favored site for both teams. Somewhere they're both very comfortable. The only attack that Nora managed to win on that first half was onto Armory. Why would Fnatic take that risk? So, here we go. Good game sense, good awareness from Fnatic. The overall setup here is looking a whole lot like what we've been seeing for both teams.
Alright, it looks like Nora are deciding they do not want to go.
Difference here is, of course,
they do not want to go to do an office push again. They want to do a security push, even though right now I'm seeing everybody down below instead of above, so I'm confused by that.
Mariu and Nora has been bringing that Maverick in.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Such a useful tool for Nora. They're going to be able to open up jail because of that, and that is a huge advantage to have over your opponents when attacking onto ventilation. If you really want to isolate that B-bomb site, you can push into storage from jail and then turn that into a kind of a cutoff using an angle straight into servers. It's a great way to hit this site. But you also still have to clear out the top floor. You have to be wary of those roamers up.
Yoshingo's on the roof, and I don't know why. I don't know what his love with the roof is.
You have some. It's Lusty and Virtue playing by Armory.
So Fnatic, as most teams do on Border, will live and die off of the second floor hold, in which there is a considerable focus from Fnatic for the time being. Rizraz, Virtue, and Lusty, this holy triumvirate that has been in play for Fnatic has been so crucial.
Okay, it looks like Nora Rango actually do want to do an office push. Problem is, it's a minute and a half in. Okay, so Ramu's down in customs. Other people are outside on the east. So Reiso and Yoshingo are now taking office. And now Yoshingo is now going to the roof. Even though if Norango really wants to take office and take archives, they are going to have to invest the entire team to take it.
90 seconds to possibly survive. As everything falls for the attackers in this. Get the bomb down or get the defuse down, defuse the bombs. There you go, kill everybody on Fnatic, there you go. Norango are getting very close to Fnatic over on the opposite side of things. Lusty is still playing these double reinforced walls, as you can hear the asphyxiating bolts.
So if some bolts go down, and I'm trying to figure out where exactly they went down at.
Norango are getting very close to Fnatic over on the opposite side of things.
So everyone's just holding angles. They went down directly here next to the wall, but I'm uncertain as to how they got there and why they were there.
It's not going to do any damage to Lusty, no. And you're going to find the very first kill goes on to Magnet once again.
So Ramu killed his Magnet, who was the Valkyrie, and where was Valkyrie playing? Valkyrie was playing down below.
Behind him. It's not going to do any damage to Lusty, no. And you're going to find the very first kill goes on to Magnet.
Who was that from? Was from... Okay, my best guess as to what happened there was Norango baited out the Valkyrie to come into bathroom to throw a nitro cell as the Thermite was putting his charge on. Now, as that was happening, IQ was holding an angle as to where Valkyrie would go, so that when she goes to throw her nitro cell, Ramu just guns her down. Maverick, right here, 5 feet away from a defender, just pulled out a goo mine.
He's not able to do too much. He sees the Maverick will be able to win the fight. Oh no, Lusty missing far too many times. Pistol out. Can he pull up some heroics? No.
That really took way too many bullets. I mean, that Lusty had... He could have easily killed Mario and even another person, because if we watch this, Lusty just misses shots. If he didn't miss about half of his shots there, he could have easily turned this into a 4v4.
Papilia will find him, and everything will be happening in a hurry as the rest of Fnatic will turn tail and drop down towards the site. Virtue, possibly on a flank. Get one, he'll start.
So Virtue goes on a flank, nobody's watching it, but then Papilia refrags that. So that's what Norango needed to do, but they weren't doing. However, one note is nobody's watching the flank. Not a good thing. Aces gets dropped 4 versus 1. Fnatic has lost this. There we go. Alright, so let's watch the kills. So, okay, so Ramu, nobody knew he was there. I mean, I wouldn't expect him to be there, so he just gets a nice shot onto Magnet. Virtue gets a kill. If someone's watching flank, gets refragged though. Really, that was just Fnatic didn't play off of one another, and they didn't get enough refrags. And with Lusty missing his shots, it didn't allow any equalization to happen. And due to that, due to that, basically due to that, Fnatic kind of lost the main advantage, and they also lost the ability to really win the round. But really, the killer, I think, was a little bit too early of a flank from Virtue. If he waited a little bit longer, he probably could have gotten a kill, and then wasted time in forcing the enemy to actually come and fight him and find him.
On the side of Fnatic, you've got 3 people with 7 kills. That's Riz, Aces, and Lusty, and Magnet 4 in that last round.
now. 7-7, last round. This is it. This is it. It is going to be a armory ventilation, maybe? I'm not sure. So, same relative setup coming up from Nora Rango. Okay, no, it is a... No, it is an armory... Yes, it is armory... it's an armory defense. Now, Virtue... I mean, no, not Virtue. Fnatic looks like they are going for a security push. Oh, yeah, remember that spot Yoshingo got naded from? He was in the same spot. Kind of questionable.
Here we go. Switch on the Fnatic. Ace
Do not do this run. Okay, so Cam goes out.
Hard destructor on the side of Fnatic. Something to point out here. That is
Fnatic does have no hard destructor. Okay, so my best guess with this is they're saying, okay, they're already leaving Armory Wall half soft, so we don't even need to open it up. It's already open for us, so we don't need a hard breacher. We can just run more fragging power.
very interesting. They're leaning heavily into the fragging. And you know what? Yeah, they made as well. Because the way that these rounds have been playing, Nora gets a
This is actually kind of lucky that Nora Rango didn't capitalize on this, because if they saw that and said, yo, they don't have a hard breacher, somebody reinforce this wall.
aggressive. They get a couple kills. Fnatic get refrags. You know, it's the sort of situation. It is why we saw Nora ban Nomad, because they really wanted to have the freedom on defense to just push you. It is going to be interesting. Border without a hard destructor can be very difficult. Looks like the ADS might have caught that grenade, so good job there to Papilia. Yeah, it will catch the grenades. It'll clear out a few other things from the lifeline. So much utility being eaten up.
Alright, so utility is used, however, neither grenade hits. I mean, it's a hard grenade to hit, so makes sense.
Valkyrie of Yoshingo.
Yoshingo had fallen to a frag grenade from Magnet in a very similar position, and you got to imagine that with this round, whoever gets the opening frag will be in excellent position to just ride out the remainder of the time on the clock, which is going to be...
That was not the play, Racel. That was not the play. That was not it. Match point, and you expose yourself unnecessarily.
A bit of a misplay there from the Mutant. A great read from Lusty to be able to get what ended up being quite a long-range kill. It's going to put Nora Rango in a position where they might have to see some bodies rotate out of the site. For the time being, though, Nora Rango's going to hold on and keep a pretty good grasp on monitors.
Mario just fell out of offices, which means he's coming to stack up on Army to support his teammate. It seems like Nora is holding firm on CCTV. They've wasted so much time here. Virtue's going for the entry, though. He sees the Valkyrie and lands the shot. Beautiful gunplay there from Virtue.
Oh, yeah?
Huge pressure.
Virtue just crouch walks in, hits his shots, hits another shot, 2 versus 5, it's probably over now.
Put themselves in a decisive lead thanks to Virtue's excellent gunplay, but here comes the run out from Papilia. He's going to take down Aces. Going for a
No,
second, but
no.
can't find it. Will make it back to the...
He got the kill, he should get back to site. He should not be going for more and more fights.
Sight though, not unscathed, but certainly unpunished. Virtue though, another kill.
So basically, Nora Rango exposed himself too much, got shut down by Virtue, and then as that was happening, and that was it. They exposed themselves too much and gave away a few easy picks, and Virtue capitalized on it, and that is how Fnatic won. But really, I'd say neither team is strong on border. They, in all honesty, both look somewhat lost still.
The final kill, map 1 goes to Fnatic.
So in all honesty, somewhat. I would say neither team should go back to border. Neither one looks like they are overly strong on it, and I think they need to just go back to other maps. I want to see if I can get the overall stats. Let's see, any stats? No. Okay. Well, basically, I think Virtue just really carried them there, but yeah, that's really it. And I apologize if, halfway through this started getting a little bit, I kind of dumbed it down a little bit, wasn't going as in depth. I did not realize how long this would actually take. So I am actually pretty tired right now. I think I started this around 7 and now it's 11. So yeah, with that, I'm going to end this. Hope you learned something, and I'll probably do more of these. But yeah, that's it.